Hello everyone, welcome to Onyx Earth Tarot. Everything you need to know about me is in the description box below. So we are back with another pick a card reading. It is timeless, it is love-based, and yes, this one is 18 plus. We're gonna run it back. There's a topic that's very popular and I haven't done it in a really long time. So we're gonna do their sexual fantasy just to get your person's sensual thoughts. Now, that said, these are not explicit readings. This is just not the type of content that you can post on YouTube. And even if you've watched my previous versions of this reading, it's just not the approach that I take to it. It's always an informative, explanatory reading, right? Like, we're just here to get the tea, so it's not going to be super explicit. Okay, just wanted to put that disclaimer before I hop into it. As always, this can apply to all types of romantic-based connections, all of the labels, ex, karmic, twin flame, soulmate, current partner, crush, all of the things, and they are listed in the description box below. I'm not going to dwell on it any further. I'm going to hop right into the pile selection. Now, this is the point in the reading in which those of you that are visually impaired, or if you simply like to listen to me verbally describe the piles, may make your selection. So, pile 1 is kiwi, pile 2 is watermelon, pile 3 is mango, and pile 4 is strawberry. I will give you a moment to make your selection. And if you need more time, go ahead and pause the video. All right, pile 1, if you selected the kiwi, then this is your reading. Let's see your person's sexual, sensual fantasies. Now, I did give this disclaimer in the intro, but if you skip that part, just want to say that this is an informative I can't even talk today. It's an informative reading led to with the energy of explaining just the energy, like explaining this person's fantasies, explaining their sensual thoughts. Like, it's not intended to be inappropriate in any way beyond it just being a mature topic. Okay, so I'm making sure you know that, so that if you're expecting something different, you can become more familiar with my reading style. Okay, so I am going to leave with this Melanin Pop deck to get some overview of like the situation, the circumstances surrounding this person's sexual fantasies. And then I'm going to hop into the tarot for some description. And then I have some astrology-based oracle, some love-based oracle, and then that erotic sex answers oracle deck at the end to just really close out the picture. All right. So tell me more about kiwi. My kiwi pile. Tell me this person's sexual thoughts about my pile 1. Health. Eating healthy. I don't know why I led with eating healthy, but it says healthy eating habits, nurse, doctor, exercise, and medical schools. So these could be the circumstances in which you know this person, right? Or this could just be the themes surrounding the fantasy, right? It could be in settings surrounding like kind of a little doctor playing around, like nursing. Again, this could be circumstances surrounding you knowing this person, or this could just be the type of foreplay that this person is interested in. Healthy eating could be an innuendo of some sort. And then you also have just the overall wellness implications that could be fitness, right? Gym based. It could be like cooking together. Like, it feels like very touchy-feely, right? All of the themes here surrounding this is a theme of touchy-feely, right? Like touching someone to check on them, feeding someone, cooking for someone, training someone. These are the themes surrounding this person's sexual fantasy. And I want to say there was an energy that was coming through that I feel like I'm losing now. It'll come back. It'll come back. Health. Oh, the topic, the point I was trying to make was with health. It's kind of like seeing like sex with you as health and wellness based. Like this person feels like they would get like a good workout, or like it would just leave them feeling very satisfied, or like it would kind of even be like healing. Like this person like may feel like very healing in their sensual approach. And with that, with this health card, it just feels like, right, see the smiley, like very sensual, happy, like even if casual, just something very fulfilling and something happy and just feeling good. And just this smiley face is what they feel like they would be left with after being intimate with you. Okay, so yeah, let me take the bottom. Interesting. And then yeah, exactly, you have voodoo. It says magic, practice, power, spell work, beliefs, and rituals. It's like a ritual. I mentioned this person would feel like a lot healthier, like sex with you would be wellness based. Here it is, right? Rituals, power, spell work, like magic. It's kind of feeling like ritualistic, like sex magic almost, if not exactly right with your person, but it feels like a deeply spiritual, fulfilling, physically and spiritually fulfilling situation. That's this person's fantasy with you, is that it would be deeply powerful and spiritual, but deeply physical, right? Like feeling so deeply that you feel it in spirit. That's what this person's fantasy is. So it's just, and also like this dark, mysterious energy in that voodoo card, like hidden things being revealed. Like I feel some of you, this person feels like part of their fantasy is you becoming more deeply connected to them, like emotionally attached, more emotionally vulnerable, and just taking more of a liking or falling deeper in love with them after whatever the sexual fantasy is, like after a sexual experience. Whether or not you've been intimate with this person, that's just how they see it. They feel like part of the fantasy is being so good at it that it's like magical to you, right? Interesting energy. Let's see more. Tell me more about my Kiwi pile. Green could be a important color to you, or could just be heart chakra. Could be themes surrounding this person, like this person wanting you to be deeply emotionally attached to them, like with, like, you know, like in love, and opening your heart chakra, because you did choose the Kiwi, and then you have that green that's on that voodoo card. So let me see. Tell me more about pile 1. 9 of Rods. Yeah, so this energy for me talks about part of the fantasy and their stamina, or your stamina, or both, right? Because it's teamwork, right? You have that 9 of Rods, meaning that someone's just on the brink of completion, which could talk about a climax of some sort, but it also talks about putting in a lot of effort and then pulling back right before that completion, right? Like pulling back. So this is someone that like fantasizes about a sensual interaction that just, it goes on, and right when it's about to be over, it's like pull back, slowing down, so that like to prolong the experience. That is what I'm getting from this card. But like it feels like stamina. It feels like power and control and restraint where necessary. Okay, interesting. I see a lot of role play, like foreplay for sure, but like a lot of role play, right? Like you've got the costume here, and then you've got like the, you know, like the health and the doctor nurse game there. I feel some of you, your person likely watches porn. Okay, probably a lot of it. Not, I wouldn't say is addicted, but like it just, I can see that with this, with all of this. Or they like read a lot of novels, or like watch a lot of movies, or just something. Or maybe they just have a very vivid imagination. It's just, there's a lot of like dressing up fantasy bases here. Like it's very situational, right? Like this is the type of person if you're not married to them, like eventually when they marry someone, they'll like want to do the thing where they pretend they don't know their spouse, or like do the wig thing where you like pretend to be different people. Like that's what this person's invested in, like on a sensual level. Interesting. This is a highly creative and imaginative person. And even if you're like, no, they're not, when it comes to sensual experiences, this person is, okay? It's funny because I'm like, I don't know. I was about to say I don't know where I'm getting that no, they're not energy from you, because I heard some of you like screaming at me like, no, your person's not like that. Maybe it's because this Emperor card came out. Like this person may be more like grounded and like kind of practical and very active in terms of like the physical plane versus this spiritual energy, or maybe they're a good balance. It just feels like some of you are like, this person's not imaginative. Well, they are. So this is you learning something. With the Emperor here, this is Aries energy, right? First house energy of the self. This is someone that is very, maybe why we have this fitness energy here, regardless of body types or it being in shape. This is someone that is very touchy-feely, physically inclined, with a tendency to care how they look and how their partners look romantically, okay? Like this is someone that likes to at least try to take care of themselves physically. They take pride in that, and they're the type that likes to worship their person's body when they're having a sensual experience, okay? So this Emperor card is also telling me, it adds to that stamina, because this is a card, right? The Conqueror, the person that is in control. It is very masculine energy, but it could just be your person's nature. It's not gender specific. Very dominant energy, right? This is someone that is dominant sensually. So in the fantasy, in the experiences, this person's either this dominant or they're the person that likes to be dominated. It's always a polarity in these piles. And so along with this being first house energy, I can see this person caring very much face to face, right? Like I can see a lot of face to face contact with this person. So this is someone in their sensual fantasies while being very touchy feely, very kissy, like in the face, right? Wanting eye contact and such. Especially since you have the piercing gaze here with the voodoo. Okay, I can definitely see that, especially if your person tends to have like wear a mask and hide their true self. They unleash in sensual experiences and encounters, okay? But yeah, definitely there's an Emperor that is a part of the sensual fantasy that your person has. And this is also ruled by Mars, which is like the god of action, the god of war. So again, stamina, physical action, move, go, 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 long standing, but also deeply passionate, as Aries is a fire sign. And also that conquering energy, it's like a challenge. Like this is a person, again, it's like a plot, like a storyline, like a role playing. That is what your person's interested in. So even if it means like this is someone that would also like, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Like makeup sex, right? Like they would like to, they have fantasies about making up via sex, okay? Like if you two get into it, it's like, okay, making it up to you in that way, or you making it up to them in that way, okay? Interesting. Let me get my last tarot card. We'll take the bottom before hopping into those oracle cards. Okay, I'll take 2 more. Why not? You guys, this person, I will say, like, I don't like to like pick up like physical attributes, but I'm not gonna lie, your person's very attractive physically. This is someone that really cares. I don't care where they are in terms of weight, shape, body type, size, muscle, any of the things. Just people generally would find this person attractive, or they kind of have a thing where they really are invested in how their partners look, because we're looking at their fantasy, right? Doesn't make it true. Doesn't make it true. But like we're looking at that fantasy, and like in their fantasy, you have all of this physical fitness energy coming through. And then you have the Hermit. Okay. Now I could also see some fantasy surrounding being at home, being isolated, isolating you. But this is the Virgo energy. It rules health and wellness. It is that sixth house. It also talks about routine. It talks about structure. It talks about attention to detail. And these are all themes surrounding this person's sensual fantasy. Like this person's like really, really fantasizing in deep detail. Like I'm accentuating it in that way because like it's down to the detail. Like this is someone that would want to please their partner in like down to the simplest touch, okay? Like all in there, okay? And again, making it a very ritualistic, possibly sexual healing, possible even like sex magic based on their spiritual practices experience I'm seeing here. But lots of health and wellness. I'm telling you, this person's primary sexual fantasy as it relates to you is that like sex with you, with them, would be good for you as well as vice versa. Like it's about it being a healing, deeply spiritual experience, okay? And making sure they're in shape to do it. Like this is all about being in shape. So like part of the fantasy is them being in shape enough to do it. So if they're not, like if this energy of them being like really health conscious and in shape is not aligning, it's because in the fantasy, like that's where their head is. Like, man, I need to have the stamina. I need to be like at the top of my game. And again, while there is a heavy masculine presence here for you, Power One, it doesn't mean that it doesn't have to be like a male person. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm clarifying that. Okay. But health and wellness and acts of service. So, you know, sixth house and Virgo energy, it's acts of service. It talks about, and I'll get to, I didn't forget this card, I promise, I'll get to it. But like Virgo energy is acts of service. So this is a person that's very giving. As they are conquering, they like to give, right? And in reverse. So like I said, it's always a polarity. So if your person's not the dominant person, that's what they're expecting or would like from you, and that's part of the fantasy. But there's this giving energy here, right? This giving energy. And also, because the Hermit is isolated energy, it tells me that a part of your person's sexual fantasy is conquering to the point where you are theirs and theirs alone. So if this isn't a committed connection, or even if it is, if there's any hint of insecurity on your person's part, it feels like sex is kind of an act of making sure you know that you are theirs, right? That conquering energy, because Hermit is isolated to the self, inside, not going outside. So it's like you being alone, okay? And that means no other suitors but them. And that also can apply to those of you where you're not actively seeking other partners, where you may be very to yourself, very independent, isolated on your own. That's just them in acting out in their fantasies, penetrating that wall, like breaking down those barriers of independence and trying to make sure that you want to merge with them, right? And they do so by conquering you on a sensual level, right? Let's see this other energy. You have the Star. We have very showboaty, stand out energy. Emperor and the Star. This person really wants to shine and they really want to perform well, okay? So while we have this insight, this person's got a lot of fantasies. I told you, that's why I love with this person. They might like watch a lot of TV, read a lot of books, you know, watch porn, all of the stuff, because they've got a lot of scenarios that turn them on regarding you. Like this person fantasizes about you a lot on a sensual level. I'm not gonna lie. Not saying they think about it all the time, but like when they do, it goes all over the place. There's like so many narratives here, okay? Because like I said, this star, it's like a movie star, right? It's an energy of Aquarius, Uranus, which would be unique and surprising circumstances. So this is someone that fantasizes about surprising you with sex, or catching you off guard, or like doing it in unusual circumstances. And, you know, it is 11th house of like kind of outside energy, right? Because that's networking, it's social situations, actually professional situations as well, because it's not like social friends, it's like collective community energy. So it's like someone that would want to be sensual with you outside, likely in some inappropriate situations because of the shocking nature, you know, of that planet Uranus that rules this card. Interesting. This is a fun pile. I'm not gonna lie. It's very interesting to read. So yeah, I mean, like the star energy standing out, right? And that also is in that conquering energy, kind of claiming you. This is someone that would kind of have a bit of a foreplay leading up, a la these circumstances, leading up to it in public, like one claiming their territory, marking their territory, making sure the other people around know that like you're off limits, and then kind of a delicate touch here and there, just enough to tread the line in front of other people. Those are the types of things I'm seeing in this read. A lot. It's interesting though, I'm not gonna lie. Queen of Blades. I this card is an air card, right? It as in this an air sign here, and it's bringing me back to a point that I left off at this Virgo energy in the Hermit. So Virgo is ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication. And so the star Aquarius, that is air energy, Queen of Blades, that is air energy. So this person is a talker, but it also talks about their mind and their fantasies, right? This is a person, like the topic of sexual fantasy was literally created by people with the mentality of your person. Like the whole fantasy surrounding sensuality literally was born in minds such as this one, because there's so much here, right? Like this is a person that would literally do well if they're good with words, like it looks like they may be, with like they would be able to write erotic novels and such in scripts, because that's where their head is. Okay, love this energy for this reading. Okay, but the Queen of Blades, very well spoken, very clear, someone that communicates sensually, that knows exactly what to say to get someone going. That is your person, and they fantasize about that. And if you're like, my person's not that good with words, then part of what turns them on about you is your ability to do that. Like something about you is deeply sensual in the way that you speak and or communicate, at least to them. Okay, and they think about how that would sound if they've not experienced it intimately. Okay. And the Queen of Blades is notorious for being very sharp with her words. Now I'm using her because of the Queen of Blades, but none of these energies have to apply to your person's gender. They're just gendered for the reading, right? Like describing the energy. So she's known for being very sharp with her words. The Emperor is known for being very sharp with his actions, right? So take it how it resonates. That's the energy coming through in the reading. Now let me see what's going on. I have a lot of oracle decks to make it through. So let's hop right into the astrology based ones. Thank you. Tell me more about Powon's person, sensual fantasies. What did I just get through talking about, y'all? Those words, that communication. We have an air sign, and here's the link between Aquarius and Virgo, right? We have air, another air sign, and we have the other sign that is ruled by the planet Mercury, the twins. Okay, this person may fantasize about twins, I'm not gonna lie, but the thing about it is Gemini rules the Lovers card. So twins could be kind of like a union of souls, right? We talked about that. So when they think about sensual energy with you, they think about a union of souls merging with you on a deeply spiritual level, like I said, in a ritualistic way. Some of you almost animalistic way, or like really diving in, right? And then the number 8 is like infinity. So yeah, they're all in, right? But they're a talker, or they hope you're a talker, or both. But talking is a huge thing. Communicating, it could be text messages. You know what? Aquarius rules like the internet, and along with communication here in Gemini, Virgo. So this person may want to have a lot of foreplay via phone, via FaceTime, over like, DMs, prior to any type of actual sensual energy, right? That's part of the fantasy. That's part of what gets this person going, is the build up, right? The storyline, the plot. That's what does it for them. Okay. Very interesting and very complementary to the energy that's already here. Not that it's a pinpointed energy, because there's a plethora of scenarios here your person's invested in, okay? At the bottom, we have blessing, moon, contentment. I'm not going to take reversals from this deck. I don't need that. But blessing, moon, contentment. Again, something that's going to leave them content, something that's going to leave you content, deeply satisfied. Like they fantasize about sensual experiences that would seem like a blessing, right? Like prayers answered with the voodoo card. So interesting reading. Okay, let me just keep pulling cards and see what else I get. Tell me more about pile one's person's sensual fantasy. With the activity in Virgo, definitely a lot of just day-to-day excitement, right? Literally day-to-day excitement with these three. I'm actually realizing that 3 of your 5 tarot cards are major arcana. So, you know, major arcanas are major. They're meant to emphasize situations that are not just mundane day to day, but are of the universe, of a higher calling, and they feel like they want their sexual experiences, at least with you, and their fantasies to be something deeply transformative, higher and above them, something that could heal, something that could change, something that could manifest literally blessings, right? Okay, tell me more about pile one's person's sexual fantasy. Sorry, I don't mean to knock that, but I did get my card. Trine, angelic support, harmony, and perfect flow. Definitely. So those of you where this applies, definitely getting an energy of like sex magic coming through, that your person, you know who you're dealing with. Like I get that, right? Like the healing and everything with the angelic support, harmony, perfect flow. But this person, I mean, everything is about pleasing, servicing, making sure that like everything syncs up the way that it's supposed to. Like that's just it. Like being content, like flowing in harmony, right? Twins in alignment, two people connecting on a deeply intimate level in spirit. That's the energy of this person's sexual fantasies, okay? Let me see what's at the bottom. You have Cancer, exactly. Nurture, comfort, and protection. So, and that is house 4 energy of the home and family. Okay, so again, some of you, this person fantasizes about like procreating with you where that's applicable. This person fantasizes, definitely, I mentioned it with the Virgo energy, the Hermit inside of home, right? Being at home. And even if it's at home, it doesn't mean that it's not exciting. It just means that it's deeply passionate, possibly caught by surprise, possibly after a build-up, after mundane tasks, day-to-day, possibly work, because 6th house is energy of work, right? It's not career, but it is work, your day-to-day work, the things you do just generally day-to-day, right? So let me see what else I can see from this Cancer card. Yeah, I mean, it's just a very sweet, emotional energy. Like this isn't something that's just frivolous. It takes a lot. Like this person's sexual fantasies, they take a lot of investment. Like it takes a lot of effort, right? The Emperor, a lot of effort, a lot of action, a lot of not planning, but like preparation, right? Because even if it's by surprise, it's still, there's some level of premeditation with this person, especially when we talk about the role playing aspect of it. Okay, some of you, that this person still has those fantasies that are deeply passionate on a whim, but like this person's, the way their mind works intimately, they have to get going, right? Like it can't just go. They have to get going. There's that build up in that 9 of rods, okay? And I find that ironically enough, I do feel that this person may be a bit of a homebody with the Hermit and Cancer, and they may be deeply independent with, because you've got 2 9 cards as well, and 9s are kind of independence, right? So I feel like your person's not really living this out, unless like it's possible that they are or have. I'm not saying they never have, but it just, the current energy doesn't seem like they're acting any of this out, like especially since it takes a lot of investment, and this doesn't feel like someone that has anyone to do that with, okay, based on this pile. Not saying it can't be true. All of you, this is just general messages. I could be wrong in that instance, but a lot of you here, it's just truly a fantasy. That's why they're so detailed, because like, for example, if this person actually was experiencing intimacy, then this wouldn't, I don't know that it would be this extensive, right? Because they would be active, right? Like they would be actually having, like, especially since the first tarot card came out is the Nine of Rods, right? Which is a pause. It could reference celibacy. So if you were wondering if this is a no contact, or if you're not in a connection, like if this is a crush, then this person's single, possibly not active. And even if they are, it's not like this. Like whatever they're doing, it doesn't feel like it's that fulfilling because of all of these scenarios. Like I was expecting maybe each pile to have one of the several scenarios that all came out in this one, if that makes sense. So yeah, this person's definitely, that's why there's the health healing as like some of you, this person may not be sexually active due to health constraints or spiritual reasons. So that's why they see it as something that could be healing or something that's almost aspirational, right? So let me pull more from the deck. Yeah, step out of your comfort zone is what is there, right? Like that's why I'm getting that energy. Tell me more about pile one's person. What is their sexual fantasies specific to pile one? What's their person's sexual fantasies? Thank you. What did I just get through saying? And then that is incoming energy. So a time for healing. Balsamic moon. I feel like that this may be the cycle in which they say not to take action. And that's why it says a time for healing. Like you don't take any type of actions during this. I'm not saying like in the real world, like in physical world. I'm just like if you're doing spell workout, I feel like this is that pause. That's why you say a time for healing. Exactly. So that confirms either the celibacy or the unfulfilling, lack of connection-based intimacy this person may be having. I call it intimacy. It's not really intimacy if it's lacking in connection. But yeah, it just doesn't feel like this person's content. Like in their fantasies, they're seeking health, wellness, healing, and contentment. Those are the things they're seeking in their sexual fantasies, okay? The end of a tough cycle approaches. Full moon in Capricorn, exactly, right? Especially after like very hard work, things that have been chaotic, they almost see sex as like a reward. And that's why their fantasies are that way, okay? Because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. That is karma, that is tough cycles. But it also, in the positive sense, it talks about commitment, right? It's kind of the glue that binds connections and synastry. So it talks about long haul energies, stable relationship energy, someone that has one person that they're doing all of this with, right? And then with the end of a tough cycle approaches, again, like I said, it after a hard day's work, after a tough workout, being the tough workout, right? Also endurance, right? That stamina we talked about a little while ago. Those are the things that are surrounding this person's fantasy. And this is 10th house energy of career and social status. So that public energy again, possibly workplace energy coming through since we're talking about career. Kind of that staking claim in public is rearing its head again. All of those things in this deck. I'll put that here. There we go. So let's hop into these love-based oracles. Let's see more about this person's sexual fantasies. Tell me more about Power One's person. We've got 2. Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. I'm not gonna lie, that makes so much sense because I was getting that makeup sex energy. So especially if you're referencing an ex or someone you've fallen out with or someone you fall out with often, that's an energy, right? With the healing and the making up and the forgiving and the learning. And also learning talks about getting to know one another's bodies over time. So that commitment based energy here in this Capricorn energy, that long haul, like growing and evolving with one another over time. Romantic feelings, your feelings are real and worth exploring. So yeah, this person's sexual fantasies surrounded all of these things, but also falling in love and being in love with the person they're doing all of that with. Okay, let's see what's at the bottom. Free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. Like this person, if they are abstinent, celibate, a virgin, whatever it is, for any reason, even if it's just due to circumstances and availability, they want to kind of be free. That's why their sexual fantasies are all wild like that, because they want to unleash. I know that sounds chaotic. It's not. It's really not. This person just wants to unleash. Okay? That's what I'm getting with free yourself. They want to be free, and they want to free themselves with you, and they want you to do that energy as well. All right, so let me see. I've got this deck, one more before I get to that erotic sex answers oracle, and I'll pull probably a few to several of that one, since that's the topic. Tell me more about my Kiwi pile. What's their person's sexual fantasy? Emotional support and third party wanted to come out. All right. Love at first sight. That is that eye contact I mentioned earlier. It says the instant gravitational pull you two felt when first meeting lets you know that this is a soul connection. So again, that love, deeply intimate moment. If this person fantasizes about a one night stand, they fantasize about having a one night stand with someone they had an immediate connection with, like eye contact, and it was very deep on a spiritual level. Blah, 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 blah. That's how they see it. This could be you. This could just be a fantasy. Okay? And even if the love at first sight was you, that was what made them see. That was what triggered all of these fantasies and whatnot. The soul connecting sensual experiences. And that gravitational pull energy also talks about not being able to stay away from one another, hence that forgiving and learning and healing energy coming through, right? You know, with the twins, this person may see you as like their soulmate twin flame, right? Not being able to stay away from one another energy. Okay, I want one more. I'll take the bottom. One more, please. Inner fears. Okay, we'll take the bottom in a second. Inner fears, that's that shadow. It says, as you face your inner fears, you recognize what is holding you back from attracting a healthy and loving relationship with others and yourself. That's kind of your person's energy. Hence the fantasies. They have a lot of internal fears and hidden thoughts and things that they're kind of afraid to move on, especially those of you that are in connection, that are not in formal connections, right? Like if you're not in a relationship with this person, they have a fear of expressing some of these fantasies because obviously you're not there, right? If this is a crush. Now, if this is your partner kind of wants to do a little more sexually, and they're just kind of afraid to say it because they don't know how you're going to take it. Like they're afraid you're going to think that, you know, it's not good and like that it's not enough, but like they have other things that they kind of want to do. Okay. And love at first sight also talks about those of you at very early stages. It's a confirmation that this person kind of fell in love with you, had romantic feelings from you at first sight, but they were really afraid. Okay. So at the bottom, you have control issues. By trying to control the situation, you'll only slow down your answered prayers. Let the divine take the lead. So those of you where there is a back and forth, right? Like this, if this is an ex on and off, right? There's a lot of conflict, right? The God of War is on the table with control, the back and forth, that actually turns your person on. Okay, it does. Some of you, they may intentionally annoy you just to rile you up so that like they can make up with you later. All right. And also you have that control issues, which is it also is emperor energy, right? Capricorn rules the devil and tarot. It talks about someone that is very controlling. I mentioned that locking down inside the house, staking their claim kind of an energy. That's like your person's fantasies, but that is how they feel their energy. Okay. I want to say, and it also has some references to like bondage and whatnot. Okay. Control issues is holding back due to inner fears. So if these fantasies are surprising you, especially if you're asking about a current partner or a past partner, it's because this person's kind of afraid that you would, one, say no, but also that they might trigger you, because I can see there's a lot of health and healing energy on the table. So it could be a lot of past trauma, possibly dealing with intimacy either on their part or your part, and they don't want to go there because of whatever past experiences you may have or they have. Okay, so let me pull from Twin Flame Soulmate Oracle deck and see more. Tell me about Pile One's person's sexual fantasy. They got a lot of, they've got like every fantasy that could happen. I'm not gonna lie, that's why it's so funny. It's like everything. I'm curious to see what piles 2, 3, and 4 are gonna say, because pile 1 is like it's taken all of the fantasies. Okay, tell me more about pile 1's. Okay, and that's 3, so we're good. So we've got separate, like a missing piece to the puzzle. So like a scavenger hunt, like cat and mouse, like hide and seek, like game playing. Also that pain of like that fighting, getting back together, breaking up, getting back together, right? Those scenarios. And then you have tie the knot, which I mentioned earlier, that bondage. And it talks about like marriage and like after breaking up and getting back together and claiming you, like you leaving them and them saying, no, you're not, you're mine, all of the stuff, especially since walk away is here as well, right? It's like separate and tie the knot. I mean, separate and walk away, straddling tie the knot is like trying to hold you and control you, or, and again, polarities, or you doing that to them, like you're not leaving. Those are the fantasies I'm getting. Okay, definitely the case. Interesting. I feel some of you, this person may be more interested when there's resistance. Like if like, you know your person, if this is like a true connection, but like even those of you like in crush situations, like this person becomes more invested when there's distance, just because of the cards here. That's part of the, like it makes them fantasize more, obviously, which makes sense because you're not in their proximity. But like when you walk away, separate, or when they do it, like they fantasize like, I hope pile 1 is thinking about me, right? Like that's the energy. At the bottom you have love story. This person, again, they could write 50 Shades of Grey. They could write all the stories because that's how their mind works. Like honestly, this person, like you tell them, pile 1, you let them know, like once you, like if you're not super close, let them know, like, hey, you ever thought of writing? Because the things that are coming through here, this person could really write love stories. They could really write like novels, specifically since we're talking about sexual fantasies, erotic novels, if they're not afraid to. And I could see that too. Ooh, I see. Look, I'm like looking for everything but the topic right now. I'm like, oh, I see Capricorn here, which is 10th house of career, like an audience, an Aquarius, you know, writing, Gemini, Virgo. I'm like, yeah, this person. So you just encourage this person to write and let me know when they do, because like I love predicting that kind of stuff. Some of you, your person already is a writer. Not saying they write erotic stories, but they have they're very gifted, you know, when it comes to communication. Okay, love story, great energy. Where I'm gonna place this. All right. The rose talks about gifts as well. So let's close it out with this erotic sex answers oracle. Tell me more about pile 1's person's sexual fantasy. I should have taken it, but it's too late. Okay, I've got 2 here. Intimate moment. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what we're asking about. But yeah, I mean, intimate moment. But like, there's a lot of shadows here. This person really wants intimacy, like deeply private, personal moments. I feel some of you, because there's a lot of energy about healing here, and your person may be very insecure as it relates to intimacy, hence the deep sensual thoughts, like all of the fantasies, because of the fear of acting it out in real life. So like, that's why you have all of these shadows. So like some of you, this person may actually prefer intimacy in the dark, like in real life, versus the fantasy because of that insecurity, those fears they have. But I mean, yeah, I mean, they deeply fantasize about intimate moments and like deeply passionate, like merging of souls type of moments, okay? Here we have going deeper. What did I just say, right? Going deeper. Like something that means something, something that's deep, something that's spiritual, a connection that they feel in spirit, right? Like those are the fantasies this person has. And again, going deeper also talks about water and like the beach and like, or the tub, those types of situations. I think I'm gonna close it out after one more because this pile was very, very detailed. Give me one more and I'll take the bottom. Okay, I will not take one more. I'll take a bunch. At the bottom, we have orgasmic. Yeah, I mean, this person wants to, like, right? Like it talks about a stamina, but this person would like the completion, right? That's the energy coming through for them. I want to grab those cards and talk about them. I love what came out though. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to take reversals because I'm not, but I feel like I should mention that great lover came out in the reverse. So like this person may have a lot of insecurities surrounding sensual energy, right? That's what they want. That's what they fantasize about, but they may not feel like they are in like real life. You have the card of sexual healing, which I've been talking about. Health and wellness is key to this pile, right? And even if it's not just like physical, it's a deeply spiritual. Some of you, this person just wants a deeply spiritual connection and that's what they fantasize about. Others of you, this person really like feels like sex is like a healing, manifesting tool. Okay. And then you have show your wild side and free yourself. Okay. Wild side. And I wanna point out this angle that came out both times, right? That's that same angle. So that is an angle that this person either wants to see you in or they want to be in, okay? Regardless of gender, okay? Great energy coming through, all right? So, I mean, this is I feel like this is a setup because I don't know what I'm going to do for the other piles, how it's going to come out because this pile had a lot. But again, you make sure you tell your person, pile 1, to start working on those novels, erotic or otherwise, because they very much still have a literary mind, okay? So that is all I have for you today, pile 1. Hopefully it resonated. If it did, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can stay in the know on the content we post here on this channel. Thank you for watching. All right, pile 2. If you selected watermelon, then this is your reading. Now I'm gonna leave with the disclaimer. I said it in pile 1 and in the intro if you skipped it, but this is for informational purposes. We're just looking to explain your person's fantasies, similar to how we do with all of the other topics, right? We're just trying to see what's going on and how. That's the only purpose of this, is to inform. So I just wanted to leave with that because this is not a raunchy, super erotic channel. And I just wanted to make sure that nobody was going to be in my comments like, oh, that wasn't explicit, because no, it is not explicit, not here, okay? Because YouTube don't play that. So I'm going to hop right into your reading. What's your person's sexual fantasy? Let's lead with the Melanin Pop just to see. It's a very eclectic deck. Sorry. We have a new stand if you missed. Lots of descriptions here. I feel like I'm explaining a lot, so your person may be very, very verbal. Okay, they like to talk, they like to explain. I feel like they may get nervous leading up to intercourse, or if you catch them like daydreaming about you, they may like get nervous and like laugh or something like that. Like I don't know why that came through, but just wanted to leave with that energy. So I'm going to see what this melanin pop has to say, hop into the tarot, and we'll power through those oracle decks. Tell me about pile 2, my watermelon pile. Tell me their person's sexual fantasy. All right. Interesting. This is very interesting energy. So, someone may like very dark clothing here, and very dark energy, not like evil energy, but like maybe moody or very mysterious. Like that's the energy. You know, like maybe this is your person's type or this is your type, and it could be your types mutually. Okay, but it says energy, vampire, draining, lust, darkness, low vibration. I don't see this energy as like low vibration. Does this person have some dark fantasies? Most likely, but the energy is very like I said, that dark, moody, mysterious scenario. It's kind of like that sneaky energy. It's like that sneaking off type fantasies or disappearing fantasies. And in some scandalous senses, it could be like third party, forbidden type scenarios. Like those are the types of fantasies your person has. And like vampires do bite. So this person may have like a little bit of a biting fetish, possibly, right? That's what we see. But lust is also here. So very lustful energy, right? Which feels like kind of almost like a passion, all right? This is a down and dirty energy. Okay, so that's the type of fantasies your person has. With vampires are known, you know, in fantasy to be very corrupting energies, like the undead. So it feels like your person may have a bit of a fetish for corrupting people, right? If that makes sense. So let's see what's at the bottom. You have strength, achievements, success, leadership, powerful woman. Okay, that's exactly the energy, kind of what I just had. So vampires are, and this is not gender specific, but vampires are known for being very powerful, right? Very attractive. Even in like fantasy stories, like because they've lived such long lives, they're usually financially stable. They're usually like upper society and whatnot because of how long they've lived. They've accumulated certain wealth, and like they're very cultured, so they know how to maneuver the world on levels that the average being does not. And so like that's kind of part of the fantasy of your person, right? Because the vampire also feels like kind of someone that, like a person that may be low vibrational or may consider themselves, or that other people, if they're eccentric, right, may consider them to be low vibrational. And then you have this powerful woman card, which is someone that is successful and achieving and in leadership, like that is socially acceptable. So you have one individual that may be shunned socially and the other one that is very praised socially. So that may be the dynamic that your person fantasizes about often, right? Like someone that's very powerful and someone that's downtrodden, or someone that is dark, like a rebel figure, corrupting someone that does everything the right way, right? Those are the types of scenes I'm getting from your person, okay? But definitely a vampire corrupting someone, right? And again, not gender specific. Hold on, something else was coming through. Yeah, that's that corrupting, that energy. Interesting. The scenario that was coming through that I like paused on is like kind of that vampire draining energy kind of feels like someone needing the other, like creating a certain need, right? Like, and maintaining power and control over someone based on that need. Again, I told you this person has dark fantasies. So let's see what else comes through in the tarot. Not, and this person could be on the giving side of that energy in their fantasies, or the receiving side. I'll take this one since it just slipped from the middle of the deck. 9 of Coins. Very independent energy. So like you may be very independent, or this person may be like, that's the energy that lost me. Okay, so this person may have like a kink for people that are very independent. Like some of you, this person kind of likes a switch up of personalities, like someone that kind of has this vampire energy privately, but like has this powerful, successful, popular energy in like the public, right? Because like the 9 of Coins talks about success, it talks about stability, it talks about having everything you need in your own personal power, right? Like this is someone that has like everything they need and nothing less, nothing more. Like the 10 of Coins would be like generational wealth, right? If we're talking about finances. So it just feels like this person fantasizes about someone that really has it together. Like that's their kink. It's someone that really has it. Some of you, this person may have like energy vampire type tendencies. They may naturally gravitate towards people that are thriving and successful. Okay? Take it how it resonates. Right? Like if they are not this energy, but they're always attracted to it, then you know what I mean. Okay? So tell me more about Pile 2, sorry. If you wanted Pile 1, go for it, but that was definitely a slip of the tongue. And that may be relevant, okay? You have the 4 of Blades, which talks about healing. It talks about rest and taking a break and recovery. Some of you, because of that rest, recovery, following independence, some of you, your person fantasizes about someone saving them from having to be so independent, right? Like someone that could support and take care of them sensually, right? And then this resting energy also talks about kind of traditional sex, right? It talks about 2 people in a bed, literally, okay? So because that's just how I read this card from a sensual perspective, because that's just, I don't know, that's the way I've always read it. So let me get one more card. We'll take the bottom. I'll take that one because it was upright, and I'm not going to take it. Ironically enough, I've got 2, which was not why I said ironic. I just got through talking about the 10 of Coins, and here they are. So this person is very materialistic, okay? And their sexual fantasies are rooted in their materialistic perspective of the world, right? It's not really about passion. It's not really about sensuality. With the 4 of Blades, like that that's an air energy of thinking, of talking, of strategizing, and Coins again are material. They're building. And I'm not saying there's no passion or emotion, because I'll get to this card in a second, which brings that in. But you have someone that is very independent, or that deeply values people that are independent. And honestly, a lot of you, it's both. Maybe your person is this powerful energy, but they have a fetish for people that are not that, right? That vampiric energy, vampire, draining energy, people that are not necessarily like them, or people with an edge like that, right? And because of this, they kind of fantasize like about situations where they are in control, and like where they have the resources that that person would need, like in other instances where this person's not naturally attracted to people that counter them in that way. It feels like someone that has what they need materially, right? But wants to have a sensual relationship with someone that could combine assets and become a 10 of Coins from a 9. That's literally how your person views sensual energy. Okay? So King of Elixirs, calming tonic. That is that four blaze, like calm energy. It's very vanilla. I'm not gonna lie. It is. I said this was my dark pile, but there's always polarities. So here's the two extremes, and most of you, your person will either pivot across them or fall in the middle. Okay, you have the one side that is like super vanilla, has a fantasy of something that they've never experienced, possibly that dark energy, but very, very vanilla just in general. And then you have the others that are living like a very dark sexual life, like they've done all the fetishes, but what they want is that vanilla standard lifestyle with one person, with out all of the darkness. Not that it's wrong, it's just they're over it. They kind of want that calm, standard, boring, what they consider to be boring, mundane structure. Okay? Like a consistent thing versus that vampiric energy. And that's that other side, okay? So you got the polarities. But this King of Cups here talks about someone that has a lot of fantasies, that fantasizes a lot regardless of gender, but is deeply emotionally tied to their fantasies. So I don't know that they're emotionally connected to the source. I'm not saying this person's not emotionally connected to you. I'm saying this person's deeply emotionally connected to their status or their intended status in their money or future income, right? Like where this person wants to be, who they want to be, where they want to go. That's where they're invested. Okay? And that detachment emotionally from intimacy I'm seeing is someone that sees intimacy and people that they would be intimate with as vampiric, right? As draining, as taking their energy, as using them for money and status. That's this individual's perspective on intimacy. All right. And hence, why, regardless of if they're super vanilla and inexperienced or like just only vanilla and have these dark fantasies, or if they've actually acted out a lot of this and now they're kind of seeking something else, but they don't trust people. I feel, dang, I lost my this person doesn't want me talking. Like when I lost it, it's gone. I'm talking too much for your person. I'm telling too much of their business. I was supposed to just see their sexual fantasy. I was supposed to see all of their like trauma. And I guess I'm getting too deep into their business. But this person has a distrust of people they find sexually attractive. This person actively seeks, fantasizes about people. Like it's kind of like Lilith energy, regardless of gender. This person actively either seeks out or fantasizes about people that they fear intimately and that they just don't trust intimately, like that they feel would be trying to get over on them. Interesting. What's at the bottom? Queen of Elixirs, beauty potion. So now you've got the counterpart. So it tells me that this person is seeking something much deeper. They want a family. This is someone that wants a family. Doesn't feel like they necessarily have it yet with the 9 of coins here. Their present energy, they're more contemplating, resting, possibly healing, withdrawing, because they're thinking about this family structure they want with the 10 of coins. And you've got the King of Elixirs, Queen of Elixirs, right? Now, this deck is also kind of spilling a little bit of tea because the Queen of Elixirs here is that beauty potion and that King of Elixirs is calming tonic. And it kind of talks about I was getting a bit of like that kind of gold digger vibe from vampires. Like you have someone that's very powerful here and you have someone that's kind of draining, and like this person kind of seeking people that or fantasizing about people that would either prey on or take advantage of them, and vice versa. That's the fantasies. Okay, lots of dark fantasies that I will not be able to talk about on YouTube coming through for this person. Okay, think power struggles, like quid pro quo scenarios, okay? Lots of those, okay? So let me talk about more of this person's sexual fantasy. How to, please don't get me put off YouTube. Let's pull from these astrology-based oracle decks. Tell me about my watermelon pile's sexual fantasies. I don't know why I threw that like that. Waning crescent, B. That's a loaded energy. So it talks about being in the moment, being present, existing. I will say some of you, not some of you, see what, like, however it resonates. So your person, and it could be both. B is present. It's very still. It's as still as energy can be, because to be, it's almost like no motion, right? And so this feels like scenarios where this person wants to be restricted or wants to restrict motion. Okay? That's what I see. Like, don't move energy. Okay? That's a heavy theme in this person's sensual thoughts and fantasies. Okay? And B also is a presence, powerful presence. I feel in some instance this person wants to be worshipped or wants someone to worship them, especially in the power, if they're the type to have the upper hand in a power dynamic, right? That's what I'm getting from your person's fantasies. All right. I'm not taking reversals from this deck. You have the full moon, which is fulfillment. Like, this person, above all, when it comes to their sensual nature, they want to be fulfilled. So all of these scenarios, all of their sexual fantasies, the goal is fulfillment, right? From that 9 of coins to the 10 of coins, because it doesn't have to just talk about financial stuff. It doesn't have to just talk about like an actual family. It's me feeling, going from being alone to feeling complete, right? Because 10s are completion, especially physically, as coins rule. All right. But this person definitely, even in their trauma and their approach, their darker approach to their fantasies, above all, they want that connection, that union with a counterpart. Okay? Like a yin to a yang kind of a vibe with the king and queen of cups here. Because I feel like a lot of their scenarios, that either this person day to day kind of lives a very physical life, like in terms of materialistic perspective. And so they want this emotional connection with financial security, but it just feels like everything has been very surface level for them. And that's why you have vampire here, because while it's kind of a shadow card, it is a beneath the surface energy, right? It dives deep. That's why it's a draining energy. That's why it's the darkness, because it forces you to dive deep, to simply be beyond power and money, right? And that is a heavy theme in this person's fantasy. But they may have like the vampire wolf things in some scenarios, only because I have full moon here. Okay, could be very witchy energy too. So let's see. Tell me more about pile 2, my watermelon pile. Tell me more about their person's sexual fantasy. And I don't know if I said it, pile 2, but this could be any connection. This could be your ex, your current partner, your crush, however it is resonating. I don't want 3, but I guess I just, with the slip of hand, this person may be very handsy. It may be something with the slip of hand. I feel like I said it already in this pile, the slip of tongue, slip of hand. So just tell me how that's relevant in the comments. You have Jupiter, grow and expand. Exactly. Expansive, that could be an innuendo. Growth and expansion. You have house 5 here, the house of casual interactions, right? It says passion, play, children, confidence, and creativity. Okay? And so I'm debating on whether or not I'm going to shift the blinds really quick. Let me do that. All right. right, yeah, that works. Okay, so house 5, passion, play, children, confidence, creativity. It talks about wanting a family. Like this person might really want a family. So this talks about kind of procreation and whatnot, and just be mindful and watch it, because this is an energy of someone that would fantasize about procreation from a place of entrapment, regardless of gender, where that is applicable. Okay, so watch that. Or even in a more chaotic sense, they may fantasize about someone doing that to them. All right. But yeah, expansion leading into house 5 talks about like lots of fun. Like this person, it may be boring. There's an underlying disinterest and boredom from this pile, whether it's from someone that may be hypersexual or hyper experimental and now it's old, or someone that's just very vanilla and they're bored with what they're doing. It feels like there's a need for some type of excitement with Jupiter in house 5, because house 5 is Leo energy, right? It's joy, it's pleasure, it's personality, it's spunk, it's outside, like it it's creative. So those are the themes surrounding your person's fantasies. There we go. And I don't know, they seem to be seeking some sort of fun, some sort of joy and pleasure that it doesn't seem like this person has ever truly experienced. Like they're seeking it sexually. And those are the themes of their fantasy, right? Saturn, exactly. I don't think they've experienced it. Hardship, trauma. Those are themes ruled by Saturn, right? Feeling restricted, experiencing struggle, learning hard work, and patience. So you've got 2 countering planets, right? The planet of expansion, of freedom, of learning, of evolving and developing. And then you have the planet of learning in a very difficult struggle sense, right? Of restricting you, holding you bound so that you learn the hard way, right? So those are themes surrounding this person's sex. Like they may have, it feels like a power dynamic. I'm telling you, it feels like a battle for freedom. Like this person like kind of has like a dom sub, like slave, right? Fantasy. So just like I said, I'm describing it as extensively as I can on this channel. But yeah, I mean, like, right, growth, expansive, freedom here, and restriction, bondage here. And all of that is straddling joy and pleasure. So their perspective on joy and pleasure is a battle between freedom and restraint. Okay? Let's see what's at the bottom. Trine, that came on pile 1 if you wanted it. Angelic support, harmony, perfect flow. So that's that harmony, perfect flow, right? The battle between freedom and restriction. This is a person that fantasizes about having someone on a leash, literally sometimes in some instances. But when I say a leash, I mean like some sort of a financial leash, some type of material leash. Like, okay, you want this, well, you're going to do that. Okay, did you ask me for permission, right? Like tying their sexual gratification to theirs or someone else's resources, right? That's the fantasy with this person. Let me pull from this other card. This is someone that would the dominant source. Like if your person's the dominant, the one that wants this control. So let me just, to not confuse myself or you, the polarity here is someone that likes to be controlled or someone that wants to control overwhelmingly, and in all of the scenarios, right? The one that likes to be controlled likes to refer and fantasizes about referring to their sexual partners as a parent, like as a maternal, paternal figure. Okay? Like mother, father. The other end, the dominating, likes to be referred to as such. All right? Glad we cleared that up. I don't know why I said that. And I started laughing as soon as I heard myself beginning to say that. So that may be how your person talks. That may be a phrase they say, like, glad we cleared that up. Okay. Like, there's no confusion here. This is what it is. That's funny. So let me see more. Tell me more about pile 2's person. This came out in pile 1. Let me see if I can get one more that actually complements that Saturn. Let me see if I can get one more. We'll take the bottom. Okay, 2 more. Why not? We're not fighting it. Some of the things I say, y'all, while I'm like throwing these cards out, I feel like it's not even me. It's like coming through for your reading. So your hard work is paying off, new moon in Capricorn. So it's like working hard for it, applying effort, real punishment and reward, right? Like, because Capricorn, Saturn, 10th house energy. I forgot to mention that Saturn rules the house 10 with Capricorn, right? That's career and social status. Jupiter is Sagittarius energy. It is 9th house energy, which does rule higher education. Hence this energy here in that powerful woman card. Again, not gender specific, but someone that is lots of growth, lots of learning, right? But lots of work as well. Okay. But this is someone that may have a praise kink, or they may like people that have a praise kink with your hard work is paying off, like being rewarded for a job well done. Okay. I'm not taking these in reversals, even though I probably should. Show the world the real you, and your commitment is being tested. That's deeply private energy in the reverse. Okay, so I'll consider that. You have Aquarius energy. That's 11th house energy of social, collective community, internet, like social media. Could be, some fantasies surrounding that. But it's ruled by Uranus, which shocks and surprises, along with the digital energy. So show the world the real you is like revealing your true self to other people. And in reverse, this person's like not interested in that. They're not interested in revealing themselves, but they also seem to have a possessive streak and not wanting you to do that as well. Like wanting to keep the sensual energy very private, or just this could be I mentioned like forbidden and taboo situations. So they fantasize about like secret affairs and whatnot. Your commitment is being tested, so that does kind of confirm the secret affairs and whatnot. But first quarter moon, they talk about new energy. So like your person, especially those of you in committed connections, on the darkest sense, they may be thinking of like affairs, right? But like on the lighter sense, it is them thinking of meeting you for the first time, like fantasizing of scenarios where you two meet and just keep meeting like that. Okay. And I say that because first quarter moon. Now, your commitment being tested, it talks about testing people. They fantasize about testing people and being tested in connections and testing the limits and testing people's boundaries, right? So, right? Yeah, those are the things that I'm seeing. So let me take this other card. Luck is on your side. New moon in Sagittarius. We do have Jupiter already on the table. So we've got Capricorn and Saturn. We've got Jupiter and Sagittarius, okay? That's that same thing I was just talking about earlier when I was talking about how straddling that house 5 of joy and pleasure, right? Freedom versus bondage. Okay, but that's when you have luck is on your side. They fantasize about getting lucky, literally. And when I say lucky, I mean lucky, like maybe getting someone that they shouldn't, or experiencing that they probably shouldn't but want to. Again, that forbidden fruit kind of an energy. Okay, because with Aquarius and Sagittarius, it is an energy of people from different worlds, right? The unfamiliar, right? Because Sagittarius 9th house, it talks about cultures that are not your own. And like I said, Aquarius, Uranus, it is unconventional energy. So those could be the themes, okay? So let me talk about this love energy. I've got 3 love decks, and then I'm going to pull from that erotic sex answers oracle deck and close it out. So let me see more about pile 2s. Tell me about my watermelon pile. What is their person's sexual fantasy, specifically about them? Let go of control issues. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. I'll just go ahead and take it the way it felt in reverse. This person is very much so in control. I'm not even going to lie. The card B literally is a card of control. It is still, it is in power, it is in the moment, it is control. So that is how this person fantasizes about intimacy. Okay. So let me pull, and I don't know why I keep holding my decks upside down, but something about upside down, okay? So tell me more about that. I'll take that one and then I'll take the bottom. Past life relationships. See that even the way that he's holding her there, again, it's not gender specific. It could be you or your person, but like it's kind of like very it's like a tight grip, like on a leash almost, right? But past life relationship, this person may fantasize about their exes. You may be the ex, or they may just think of, so yeah, this is so like chaotic. So past life relationships is giving me period pieces. So like your person may fantasize about like past time periods. Okay. And it just really, I'm not gonna lie, some situations I saw it go very dark. So I'm not developing that energy. But again, you know, with you have known each other before, this person fantasizes about like literally historical time periods, okay? Which is very, like there's like some really cutesy ones that are coming through, but there's also some that are coming through. So at the bottom you have children. Your love life is being affected by children. That's that house 5 very playful energy. Kind of role playing energy, but that also that entrapment energy of like, you know, I mentioned earlier. And also that card references trauma from stemming from childhood, possibly. That is influencing your person's sensual fantasies. Okay. So let me pull from this other deck. Tell me more about how two's person's sexual fantasies. I've got 2. Good. Okay. I'll take the bottom in a second. Let's see. Because this one landed on your commitment is being tested. Y'all, I'm not even, I'm not doing this with y'all and y'all's person. I'm not developing that energy. I'm not getting put off YouTube. I'm not getting put off YouTube for y'all. Okay, I'm not doing it. So, past life, but it says there may be a past life connection or unfinished business with your person. Again, this is heavy X energy for a lot of you. Someone from your past, or them like liking to fantasize about people from their past. Right? Especially when they're single. If they're single, they like to fantasize about people that they've interacted with already. That makes it more real. Now, could be if they're deeply spiritual, them thinking about past lives. Some of them may fantasize about people they've known since childhood. Could be you, right? But again, even childhood feels like past energy. So historical periods, right? Right. So that's kind of the energy that is coming through for your person. So let me see what this is. Devotion. A dedicated partner whose love is unconditional and eternal. And I'm not even gonna lie, that unconditional is touching on some of that toxic fantasy from those periods. But again, they want someone that would be devoted to them regardless. I mentioned the power dynamic, the power struggles, the you know, the freedom versus restraint, the bondage, right? So listen, this is your person's deeply intimate thoughts, like their own personal thoughts. And yeah, you get what you get when you dig into someone's mind, right? So you have ready for love. Hold on. You've been understandably guarded, scared of being hurt again, but you took the time to heal. Now you are ready to try love again. So this person, honestly, they fantasize. Like, I feel like this person, I'm trying to find a place to position these cards. I'll put this one here. So this person feels ready, like they're ready to connect with someone. Hence that ascension from the 9 of coins to the 10, and the union of souls and the king and queen of elixirs. That's where they are emotionally now. Hence that healing energy I mentioned. Regardless of how toxic their past may have been, or you know, what their fantasies are. Like they just, that's what they want. And like the guarded, like this person fantasizes sexually about earning someone's trust or buying it, right? Like of, even in the most impossible of circumstances, still having that love, that devotion beyond any type of trauma, still having a level of unconditional love in it. Okay? But this person's fantasies are very dark. I'm gonna be very honest with you. Okay? So take it how it resonates. Okay? Tell me more about Pile 2's person's sexual fantasy. I'm on my second to last deck, by the way. This is my Twin Flame Soulmate Oracle. Tell me more about Pile 2's person's sexual fantasy. Love nest. Yeah, I mean, like you have that 10 of coins, right? That devotion, like just being together, right? Through thick and thin, like a nest, but also that nest, right? Like a nest, nesting. Like this person fantasizes about procreating with you where it is applicable. Okay? I'll just put it here, it's fine. Any more? Tell me more about Pile 2's person's sensual fantasies. All right, I'll take all three of those. So you've got captured, which I mentioned, the bondage and the cages and the traps, right? Like chains, all of the stuff. Okay, that's how this person is fantasizing. Like a love nest, captured, tied down, commitment. You've got no, which is like a resistance energy, like a no meaning a yes kind of an energy. And then lasting love, commitment, right? Devotion, unconditional love, the ready for love, right? That's this person's sensual fantasies. Actually, where is it? Well, you do have commitment being tested here. Yeah. Okay. At the bottom, we have swept away, right? Again, that bond, like that freedom versus restriction energy, that swept away, sweeping someone off their feet, sweeping you off your feet, or being swept off of their feet. That's this person's sexual fantasy. Okay, so whether it is taking care of someone or supporting someone in a very dark way, that is the energy overall. So let me close it out with this deck. Let me see what the erotic sex answers has to contribute to this. We'll wrap it up and move on. Tell me more about Pile 2's. Okay, let me. Alrighty, ready. I don't know that I can show this card. Okay, so it is seduction. I'm trying to be very careful. Seduction, which, yeah, I still put it right in the camera. It's fine. I'll put it back once I get a card that can cover it, just to be safe, because I don't think it's a bad card, but I just want to make sure. Okay. Any more? Yes. Too self-conscious. Again, that corrupting energy. So, you know, seduction leading into too self-conscious is someone, it's like, you know, corrupting someone's innocence and blah, 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 blah. Like a self-conscious is kind of a treading lightly, kind of like a fear, like an insecurity, like a very innocent, naive level of seduction, or someone seducing someone that's kind of afraid or fearful, right? With the no here. Yeah. Let me get one more. I'll take the bottom. Expectations. Yeah, so sensuality surrounding expectations, right? She's clutching pearls on her neck. So like, again, the expectations, expecting something for something else, those types of scenarios, like that I don't even know how to say it. I can't even say it at this point. Okay. At the bottom, you have undress me slowly. That's more of that sensual, very innocent level of seduction, right? Taking someone's time. Yeah, and I'm going to close it out right there. So that is all I have for you today, pile 2. Hopefully it resonated. If it did, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can stay in the know on the content we post here on this channel. Thank you for watching. All right, pile 3, my mango pile. I feel like your person's going to be very chirpy in this reading, or maybe they're just very vocal in intimate settings because like the birds are just really letting us have it outside right now. So I hear them through my window and they're very loud and they're just very excited. And that's just the energy coming into your reading. And I haven't heard that all day. So now it's later in the day and the sun is about to set. I feel like you're getting more of that energy. I want to lead with, if you missed the intro or if you didn't watch the other 2 piles, this is an informative reading. It's meant to kind of explain your person's sensual fantasies and whatnot. And that's the only intent. This isn't going to be like a super vulgar reading and whatnot. So I want to give it to you up front just in case that was what you were seeking, because YouTube don't play that. So I'm going to hop right in. And I'm going to leave with the melon pop so we can get an overview of your person's, my mango pile, your person's intimate thoughts and fantasies. I'll follow up with the tarot and I'll power through those astrology, love-based oracles, as well as the erotic sex answers to close it out. And as always, this could be for any type of connection. They're all listed in the description box below. So let's see. Tell me about pile 3's person's sexual fantasy. A mango pile. What is your person's sexual fantasy? I almost took that one. Okay, your person's fantasies are, before I even read the card and what it says, just the desert in itself. You see how empty it is out there? It's like, let's see if I can, there, oh, wait a minute. All right. So it's showing isolation. I hope you can hear the birds so you can know what I mean. Like they're just singing it up outside. But yeah, the desert talks about isolation and just being alone, but it also talks about deeply spiritual and transformative situations. And this person fantasizes about, you know, sexual experiences that are deeply meaningful and transformative and that are kind of one-on-one, deeply personal, deeply, truly intimate, like true intimacy, right? But there's also a heavy theme of isolation. Now, it does say clarity, honesty, survival, wisdom, and self-discovery. Okay, like this is a person that fantasizes about sexual experiences that are so awakening that they find themselves. Okay, like they find clarity. This person fantasizes about sexual experiences that gives them clarity and insight on the connection with that person, right? Like some of these people feel like what, or may have lived an experience, but the fantasy is that the sexual experience will show them honestly how they actually feel, like how deep their feelings go for the person they're being intimate with. Okay. Interesting. Especially after a dry spell. Okay. At the bottom, you have thief. Steal, criminal, cheating, ulterior motives. It's like this person fantasizes about awakening to love with someone after a sexual fantasy. Like this person feels like, especially if we're talking about you, they feel like having sex with you would have them feeling even more in love with you if it hasn't happened already. Okay. And I do see some makeup sex here, because with cheating and the honesty, like this person feels like sex after some sort of a confession, like that's a fantasy. So I don't know what the confession could be or what, but like in some instances I see like this person seeing like and it doesn't have to be like cheating, just after admitting some sort of wrongdoing, that this person feels like, okay, once letting that out, kind of moving beyond it and being very passionate and having sex. Okay, let's hop into this tarot and see what's going on. Tell me about my power 3. This is incoming energy. What is that? 7 of Rods. Yeah, competing. This is someone that wants to compete. Like this person fantasizes. I don't know if this is a third party for some of you, but this person fantasizes about stealing you from somebody, especially if you're in a connection desert, right? That's not fulfilling you, or that they feel like the person's not treating you right. They feel like they can treat you better, right? So like desert and thief, like this person feels like they could steal, like they fantasize about stealing you right up from under your partner's nose, if that's the case. Okay? And I say that because the 7 of Rods is fighting for something, right? It's like fighting solo against everyone and not really caring, still coming out on top after a hard battle. Okay? This person could also fantasize about being with someone they have no business being with. Like, right? Like stealing is just having the upper hand, or being with someone, just finding yourself in a situation where you've gotten over in some way, right? Like people, like this person fantasizes about having a partner that people think is too good for them, right? Or that they're too good for, and like defending that person, or defending themselves, or even competing from other suitors, competing with other suitors, okay? And that leading to sex, or being much more cunning than their competition and isolating you in a way from them, like in a social setting. So let me get 2 more cards. We'll take the bottom. 9 of Coins. 9 of Coins is independent energy. It's like star energy. It's someone that is kind of at the top of their game independently, like a trophy. Like it is someone that is in and of it themselves kind of a trophy, right? So like they kind of have the fantasy of stealing the trophy, if that makes sense, right? Fighting for it here, and like kind of seeing you as that. Okay. Let me see if I can get one more. Both of these cards are independent cards of someone fighting a battle on their own. And then with Desert, it is self-discovery. It's isolated energy. So that's interesting. Let me see what else is coming out. 6 of Blades, sorry. That is moving beyond a circumstance, right? Leaving something you've outgrown behind and sailing the seas to a new adventure. There's a lot here that I feel like I need to sit with for a second. This person fantasizes about the chase. They fantasize about the chase. You have Thief and you have the Desert. It's like taking off with something. This person fantasizes about either being chased, like disappearing, and someone pursuing, or of kind of having someone disappear on them and then hunting. That's a very interesting fantasy that's coming through, but that is a fantasy I'm seeing. At the bottom, you have the 7 of Coins. That's a harvest, right? After a lot of work, after fighting, building, traveling, finding what you're looking for. This person fantasizes about hunting, chasing, searching for their love. That's a sexual fantasy. There's something here still that I haven't put my finger on yet. It'll probably come to me in a second. Let me pull from these astrology-based oracle decks. I'll take that one and then the bottom, and I'll put these on the top. There we go. This person fantasizes about having their heart stolen. Like the heartbreak here is like someone running off with their love. I don't know what that's all about, but that is kind of here, okay? And then kind of leaving them to find themselves, and then they get successful and finding their 9 of coins after battling for it, and then going off to find their person. Right? Like they fantasize about a second chance. Interesting. I didn't see that coming. You have Virgo energy, the healer, which makes sense, right? This is, well, healer, right? The healer in and of itself is healing energy of finding themselves, healing, stepping it up, finding their confidence in the 9 of coins and moving beyond, and then finding their person, their love, right? I don't know why that's the sexual fantasy, but that just seems to be it. It could really involve traveling though. With the desert and the 6 of blades, this person's sensual thoughts surround traveling, okay? But also a comeuppance. With Virgo, the healer, it definitely is a comeuppance because it's 6th house. I was gonna say of like acts of service, right? Which makes sense, a chasing energy, a giving, possibly overextending, having to fight for something. But it also talks about your health and wellness. So this person really sees like a glow up, a comeuppance, especially someone that may have done them wrong, like someone that treated them poorly. With desert and thief, like someone that may have like ghosted them. They fantasize about like confronting that. Interesting. All of these piles are not what I've expected, which is good for me as a reader, but it's funny, okay? But it's like, okay, so day-to-day energy, right? Again, health and wellness, acts of service, attention to detail. And that attention to detail is like kind of detective skills, that hunting down and chasing and finding someone that may have like disappeared or ghosted or ran off, you know, whether they were right or wrong, just making it right. Okay. Tell me more. The bottom. Courage. Yes, this person fantasizes sexually about being brave and just going for it and like taking their person. And I am leading with the perspective of you. Like I'm saying that sexual fantasy broadly so I can get all of it, things that you may not have even realized. That's why I'm being so broad with the topic. But I'm leading with an energy of you. So like this may resonate for some of you as your experiences with this person. But yeah, courage. This person fantasizes about being courageous, about going out and just taking what they want. Like not in like a chaotic way. This isn't that kind of a pile, but like in a like go out and take it, right? Like brave enough to just initiate sensual energy. Like if this isn't this person's nature, they fantasize about being brave enough to like just go for it, right? Especially after a drought. That's what that harvest is all about in that 7 of coins. Okay, about messaging you, they calling you if this is no contact. Desert, some of you, this may be no contact, my pile, or my pile of exes and whatnot. I say that because my phone is ringing. So person fantasizes about hitting you up, but I'm not going to answer. Obviously, I'm in the middle of a reading. We'll see what that's about after. All right. And South Node is at the bottom as I'm shuffling. So it could be past energy. And it doesn't have to be an actual ex. It could just be someone that, you know, left you, went away, all of the stuff. You have house 1. You see, there it is. Individuality, self-image, and approach to life. House 1. So This person fantasizes, some of you, very specific, your person fantasizes about possibly a one-night stand with thief that makes them reevaluate their whole life and sets them on a spiritual, mental, emotional, material based journey to evolve and become a good partner, or like to go out and find, especially if it's like a no name, like true one night stand, like finding that person. In some instances, if that's not you, then that's just a fantasy they have. Or it's not your person, because again, it's a variety of messages. But they fantasize about a sexual experience that just awakens them to who they are and just makes them the best version of themselves, and initiating this chase to self-improvement, to their chase to this person, you in a lot of situations, pile 3, chasing their dreams, chasing a harvest, right? Finding their identity in house 1 though. And again, that's that chasing, taking, being more dominant energy, because that's Aries energy. That's Mars energy in the house 1. Okay. So yeah, at the bottom, you've got Jupiter, which is grow and expand. That is traveling, Sagittarius, 9th house energy. So their sexual fantasies are about higher education, learning, evolving, spirituality, and travel. Okay. But not just any travel for the sake of learning, of growing, of evolving, of becoming more cultured, right? Of finding themselves and their person. That's the type of sexual fantasy this person has. This person's sexual fantasy is surrounded by finding their soulmate. Okay. So let me see what Moonology has to say. That almost came out. We almost took it. There we go. Adjustments are required. Third quarter moon. Yes, this person fantasizes. That's why it's really weird energy for me, but not bad. It's just different. This person's sexual fantasy is about self-improvement. Like they think about, finding someone, being intimate with someone, possibly one night stand for the first time, and it just making them want to be better. And it making them want to pursue, be active, chase, commit, find the person. If this is someone that they, especially if it happened while traveling, like that's the fantasy, like traveling, meeting someone and then having to find them. That's kind of the fantasy. All right. You've got the answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini. Yeah, like finding that knowledge. You've got, where is it? Virgo, Gemini, the 2 planets ruled by Mercury, planet of communication. My phone was ringing. So you've got all of the communication, the searching, the knowledge, the research, the detective work. Like this person fantasizes about like detective work, like finding someone, possibly stalking them a little bit, like, you know what I mean? And then finding them and getting that clarity of the harvest of who they are, where they are, and, matching in union. Interesting. Okay. Let me pull from these love-based oracles. I have 3 of them, and then I will close it out with the erotic sex 6 answers oracle. Tell me more about my mango pile 3 person's sexual fantasy. Right? Like adjustments are required. It's like having to assess and search and find, right? Like self-discovery, adjustments, the answers you need. It's like a hunt, like a scavenger hunt. Tell me more about Pile 3's person's sexual fantasy. All right, I've actually got 2 that landed right here. Okay. We've got wedding. This situation involves marriage. And then we've got passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. This person's looking for a lifelong partner. Okay, the sexual fantasy is about finding someone that they connect with so deeply that intimacy makes them better, right? Triggers their soul growth and evolves them as a person. And even if your person's not deeply spiritual, they still, and maybe they may not know those terms and whatnot, they just feel like they fantasize about like having sex with someone that makes them want to just be a better person, better human, better partner, and all of the things, right? Just, but again, wedding. Some of you, this person fantasizes, sexual fantasy is after a wedding, during a honeymoon, hence all of the traveling, right? Possibly a destination wedding or whatnot. Okay. Like it could be very centered around marriage and a wedding and traveling, because even Gemini is short travels. It's actually the opposite energy to Sagittarius, which is the planet of Jupiter. So third house, ninth house axis, short travels, local travels versus, you know, broader perspectives, right? Small-minded versus broad perspective. They actually fantasize about sex with someone that can actually teach them, right? Broaden their perspective. I didn't mention that. Let's see what's at the bottom. Let your friends help you. Ask for and accept help from others. I'm telling you, this person fantasizes. Sometimes maybe it's like being set up on like a blind date. Like they fantasize about having to like go out and find someone, or go out and find you, like or even at the minimum of chasing, of the chase would let your friends help you. It's like needing to find someone or get in contact with someone or keeping tabs on someone. Again, detective work, clues, to the point where you need to like ask friends for help, right? Would let your friends help you. So that's their fantasy. Okay. Especially because thief is just sneaky energy. It doesn't have to be aggressive. It could just be someone watching on the low, someone sneaky, right? Because thieves steal things discreetly. You're not going to openly do something and get caught. So like thieves are very discreet. So it feels, especially in the desert when no one's watching, like this is someone that fantasizes about watching you and no one else knows, or they may actually be watching you, keeping tabs on you in some instances, but they lack courage, right? And so they're relying on their friends to say, you know, to tell them what's going on with you, or, you know, especially with twins, could be a sibling. I don't know why that's coming through, but it just feels like I don't know. I think the overall sexual fantasy is that chase for sure. Because that's the like general consensus of, in all of the scenarios, that's the one thing that ties them all together that are on the table. So let me pull from this other deck and see what's going on. Tell me more about Pile 3's person's sexual fantasy. Give me the details surrounding that. Okay, we'll take one more after this. Laughter. The laughter shared between soulmates warms the spirit in a way no coat could ever. And cold's preference like cold. So like it just feels like, again, traveling, maybe even to cold places, but laughter, it's fun. It's a joke. Like this person, and laughter ties very well to friends. So this person may fantasize about like a friends with benefits kind of a situation, or a friends to lovers transition, because it is a traveling energy in a reading. Doesn't have to be a physical travel. It could very much so be a journey, right? And an experience, right? An evolution, right? With laughter. Interesting. So let me get one more. I'll take the bottom. Okay, two more. We'll take the bottom. I need to just stop calling how many cards I'm going to take. Why is this one in reverse? Sweet song. Soulmates often use music and songs as a telepathic aid in order to share spiritual messages and emotions with each other. I heard those of you that are asking about an ex, when we talk about fantasy, whatever happened, like they're so hurt by it, hence the broken heart, and they really are growing as a person. But like whatever song connects you to, they don't even want to listen to it anymore. You ruined that song for them. That's a shame, Pile 3. Because it came in reverse. But I'm not going to take it. That was just a message for some of you specifically. But you ruined that song for them. Whatever happened, they can't even hear the song. That's so sad, because I love music. I'm like, dang, they can't even listen to the song. But it's fine. But this just talks about that connection that this person fantasizes about having with someone. And it also talks about messages, right? Messages, sweet song. This person may fantasize about music, setting the mood, right? Laughing. Like when we talk about sexual fantasies, like this person fantasizes about it being very fun, right? Very passionate, like laughter, like giggling, like even telling jokes and like teasing each other, and like music and singing songs, like a lot of passion, as that card suggests. You have enchanted love, exactly, like over the moon, like with one another, right? Even like on a desert island together. They may have those kind of fantasies, but enchanted love. I did mention isolation, so just you two laughing, sweet together, very pure energy. But again, enchanted love. Let's see if we can clear it out. Let me see. There it is. A sacred bond that is divinely guided and harmonious. Union, right? Like harmonious, like divinely guided. Like guidance is like a journey, like, right? Like evolution and just really being smitten. That's what this person, like, it's very sweet energy, right? Like it's not kinky, it's not super kinky. It's all about love. Like this is my love pile. Okay? At the bottom, you have emotional support, which says now is the time to check in with your emotions and your partner's thoughts and feelings. That's this person's sexual fantasy, is like being support, being your emotional support, being emotional support, and just having that connection, that bond with someone. Okay? So let me pull from this last lovely deck. I do have the erotic sex and sex answers, so hold tight. This here is my Twin Flame Soulmate Oracle. So let's see. This is the fairy tale pile, by the way, with laughter, sweet song, and enchanted love. Tell me more about pile 3. Exactly. Maturing energy, kisses, right? Person fantasizes about kissing. Smooch, smooch. I don't know why I said that like that. They may say that. We need 2 more. Tell me more about pile 3's person's sexual fantasy. This is a very like sensual, sweet pile. I'll take all 4 of those because it's not gonna kill me. And I'll take about forbidden fruit. There's another pile where this energy was very, very heavy. So if you want to pick it, go ahead. I'm not gonna tell you which one it is. It's ruin a surprise, but that apple, that forbidden fruit. And I did mention fairy tale vibes, right? So like an apple, right? It's like a very fairy tale energy. Some of you, as part of this person's primary sexual fantasy, they fantasize about your lips, right? Your mouth area. Take from that what you may. In love, I said it, right? Just the 2 of you, right? All alone, being in love. All right. Refine is in reverse, slipping out right here. So that's interesting, especially since you have no. I think refine was like in reverse. It's kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like unwinding, just being yourself, right? Like friends primarily, and not having to be perfect. Adjustments are required. Like someone they don't have to be perfect with. It's okay. Like kind of that flaws and all. Ooh, you got a channel song. Let me just, since I have it right here, let me just put it because I won't remember. I will not remember. But flaws and all, I feel like is a channeled song for this pile. Let me put it in my notes. Now I have to like shuffle for everybody else so that people aren't left out. But kisses, forbidden fruit, and love to know. This person really loves, like they get a thrill off of rejection. They love to chase. I'll say that. romance. There was another pile where the red rose was a big deal. At least I think it was a rose. But anyway, romance, like it is a huge deal, okay, for this person. This person has a very romantic approach to their sexual fantasies. Like that is where their head is. That is what they deeply crave, is romance. And for them, a lot of them, it's kind of like a whirlwind romance. It's like that one that got away, that chase, that, you know, finding someone after searching, you know what I mean? Like thinking you lost someone and they're there. Like that's kind of this person's, I don't want to say kink, but that's the type of things they fantasize about. That's probably the type of romance movies, novels they enjoy. All right. Tell me more about pile 3 and their person's sexual fantasy. You got it 2 times. That's hilarious. But it proves my point, because this wasn't that kinky. It was very sensual, and you have divine timing, like everything happening after time or in divine timing, like that's part of their quote unquote story, right? But romance and romantic sex, that's your person. So if you wanted kink, I don't know if we might have a little bit in here, but you know, with the forbidden fruit and whatnot, kind of like a little bit of a Romeo Juliet feel here in some instances, but romantic sex, that's what you get. Okay, pile 3, mango. So let me pull 2 more and we'll take the bottom and close this out. Tell me more about pile 3's person's sexual fantasy. I didn't want this card, but it just decided it wanted to be in the reading, so why not? I'll pull 1 more and take the bottom in a second. You are what I want. Even this card has a little bit of a modesty. It covers it like, you know, like he's covering her. And so, and it's not gender specific, but it's like very possessive, like you're mine, like, you know, but a certain energy. This person fantasizes about being sure of knowing. So there's always a polarity. Your person either fantasize about chasing or being chased, of being deeply desired, right? Like of having someone be sure or of being sure, you know, either side. And in some instances, both, right? Like some of you, your person likes to chase, but like at the same time, in their chasing, especially in their, if they've had a history, maybe they haven't had someone either reciprocated at that same intensity, or you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, it just feels like being chosen and choosing here. So that is the fantasy. But again, highly romantic individual. That's their, all of their sexual fantasies are surrounded by romance. Okay. Let me pull 1 more and take the bottom and close it out for this pile. One last message for my mango. They love to chase. They love to play hard to get, or they love chasing people that play hard to get. And it could be both. Okay. Not open right now. Right? Like this is someone that would pursue people that are very emotionally unavailable and are likely unavailable themselves. Okay. Not open right now, but divine timing did rear its head even, and we do have no. So you got 3, you got no, not open right now, and divine timing at the bottom there. But again, romance, that's what this person wants. There's a harvest in their mind. At the bottom, you have sensual. I'm not going to lie. Once I get this to clear out, I'm going to make a point, because I was already going to make that point. I'm going to tell you exactly why. Look at that. Now, I know there's a lot of red in this deck. I understand that. But when I saw forbidden fruit, I was like, thank God there's not an apple, because then I would have to say choose the apple. But I almost said, oh, there's another pile with a red fruit. There's actually 2 piles with a red fruit. And I didn't have to say it. And then this card came out and I'm like, that's a red rose, which I'm mentioning your person being super detective. Like I have a reading. I am getting so sidetracked. I'm sorry, but this is the end, so I can do what I want. There's a reading on my channel with this kind of grayed out background, and there's roses. And I think it's like your secret admirer, stalker. And this is, you need to choose a pile, probably this pile with this type of rose on it, because that's most likely a reading for you. Okay, pile 3. And also, you may want pile 4, because that's a strawberry, which is pile 4. Because I was getting, oh, maybe you should choose the red fruit, which there's 2 red fruit piles. So if you want it, both, then go for it. Or all 3, go for it. But there is a strawberry here with sensual. But this pile is very sensual. It's not super sexual. It's more sensual and romantic. That's the energy coming through for your person and how they see love and romance, especially since they seem to be the type to kind of want to gather up some type of courage or strength. All right. Yeah, okay. I didn't mean to send you to like 2, 3 piles and then another reading, but maybe that's your journey. I think there was another reading like that I didn't mention it in, but I'm glad I'm mentioning it now. So that is all I have for you today, pile 3. Hopefully it resonated. If it did, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can stay in the know on the content we post here on this channel. Thank you for watching. All right, pile 4, my strawberry pile. This is your reading. I want to leave with a disclaimer, and then I want to do a quick message that came through before I could even start your reading, which means your person is super eager, so you should be excited if this is someone you're interested in. So I'm like trying to catch my breath. I don't even know why. But yeah, if this is someone that you're interested in, you're going to be happy in a second. But the disclaimer is, this is for informative purposes. It's like educational, just the knowledge, same as any other reading. Like, it's not super erotic or anything like that. That's not the type of content I post, specifically not on YouTube, because they don't play that. So if you were seeking something more erotic based, then that's not this type of reading. So you can exit now. But like I said, if you just want to know, same as all of the other crush, feel what's coming next for you in your life readings, then stick around. It's gonna be a party. So as I was resetting your decks to see, get ready for the strawberry pile, to see what your person's sexual fantasy is, all of the connections is in the description box. Cards started sliding out, and I didn't even realize they fell. I was like, what fell? So I got up, had a sip of water, and these cards were on the floor together. Not in this order, actually. I'm lying. This one was in reverse, and these 2 were upright in a cute little stack. And Soulmate is already showing itself twice, because let's see if I can move these without messing anything up. At the bottom of your reset, yep, Soulmates is already there. Now I'm gonna shuffle these live, so that will not stay there, but that's where it fell in your reset, like where I was cleansing for your intent, like intending for you. And then you got Soulmate here. Let's see. There it is. You got Soulmate here. So you've got just friends. I choose them in reverse. Soulmate upright. So before I get into your person's sensual fantasies, if you were questioning a certain connection with your person, oh yeah, and then at the bottom you have I want you back. If there is third party, this person's, they've made their decision, right? I want you back. If it's not, and you were questioning, you were concerned, like, oh, was this person like cheating on me, or are they entertaining someone else? If there is someone around and like you weren't sure, like if you weren't sure, if you know, then that I choose them in reverse is your confirmation they've moved on. But like if you are suspecting you're in a third party without your consent, then like the cards are here to confirm that like this person sees you as their soulmate, and that's literally a friend. Like if they're telling you that's a friend, like it's true. Okay? So some of you really needed that message. All right? So I'm going to start with this Melanin Pop deck. We're going to get an overview. I'm not even going to lie. I think I already see Sweet and Sticky. So this is going to be interesting. Very interesting. But I'm going to start with this to get some overall energy. I'm going to use the tarot for details, and I'll power through all of those oracle decks for clarification. So tell me about pile 4, my strawberry piles, person's sexual fantasy, with emphasis on them, because it is a general message, but I also want to see emphasis on you. So teacher, this could be a kink, right? Like this could be some role play coming through, like student teacher. This could be kind of some kind of a forbidden energy coming through, but you do have education, you have knowledge, you have competence, care, and oh shoot, professor. Some of you, I'm telling too much truth. You better watch that. Don't get in trouble out here, okay? All right. So, yeah, teacher, from a sensual perspective, it talks about taking the lead, guiding someone, showing them what you like, showing them things they may like, evolving someone. And this could be you, this could be your person, but like this person either likes to be taught or they like to teach, and it could be a hybrid. We always have these polarities in each pile, okay? Interesting. Someone that they can learn and explore with. That's the sexual fantasy. Okay? Show you off. Proud trophy wife accomplishments status. Some of you, this person's sexual fantasy is about success. It's about finding a partner that is successful that they can brag on. And I don't know why that's like the sexual kink, but it's like, look at my person, right? Like this person would be like, look at Pow 4. Isn't Pow 4 amazing? Yes, they're mine. That's crazy. That's this person's like kink. Being able to walk around with you and telling everyone like, look at how great Pow 4 is. Did you hear Pow 4 like has a master's degree? Like Pow 4 is like, you know, just got promoted. Like that's the thing. And I don't know why that's the fantasy. Like some of you, this may not be fantasies. These are like real life. This might, I honestly, because of the energy that came through heavy at first, this may be my most grounded pile. Like this isn't fantasy. This is like how they are, okay? But yeah, I do feel part of the sexual fantasy is just being very attracted to you and knowing that you're attractive and that other people desire you, right? Like having you and knowing that you're theirs, even though a lot of other people desire you. And with teacher, it's a telling, a sharing energy, like sharing of knowledge. So it's like making sure other people know. Like part of their sexual fantasy is when people realize that you're with them. Because you are the prize, apparently. Okay? And you are powerful. You go powerful. Okay? Let me see. Let me get these tarot cards and see more of your person's sexual fantasy. For a reason, I don't know. So for some reason, I was like, am I even recording? I don't know why I felt like I wasn't recording. So like, some of you, your person might actually want to like film it and like check to make sure that it's actually happening. I don't know. That's crazy though. Especially with show you off. Not saying they would share it openly with other people. Some of you, they want to. Just make sure you're paying attention if that's not what you want. But I can see that in some situations where it's like this person's wanting to like show off like sensual images or videos of you. So just watch that if that's not what you're into. Eight of Blades. Restraint. Okay. So it's always a polarity. That energy I was just saying, showing you off. Some of you, it's the opposite. It's like, this is this person's mind, right? Like, especially if you have pictures or like sensual images or videos of yourself out, like where you're like showing off, this person's like it turns them on, but they really want you to stop because they want you to wrap up like this card traditionally depicts and like not let everybody see. That's what this person's thinking. But it does turn them on and they do fantasize about it, but they fantasize about wrapping you up. Like this is the person that fantasizes about putting a coat on you until later and then taking it off. Okay? Of giving you a lecture. Right? With teacher. It's very preachy. With the justice. Yes, it's very judgmental. Because like not in like a bad way, but like they fantasize about like lecturing you, like preaching, like you know what I mean? Like very like teacher, like that you should be this way, right? And then you doing what they say, because justice talks about like balance, it talks about fairness. It's like legal systems and whatnot. It's like right versus wrong, like the scales, like of polarity actually. So like that's what this person kind of fantasize, and it even has a brain, which could be an innuendo, but again, knowledge, right? This person fantasizes about being in settings surrounding knowledge. So it could be classrooms. I heard boardrooms. It could be libraries, right? Courtrooms, all of the stuff that you got no business being sensual in. Don't y'all go to jail. So, but those are this person's fantasies, okay? Those are these person's fantasies. And justice is also ruled by the sign of Libra, which is, ruled by Venus. It's very sensual energy, but it also rules house 7 of contracts, right? Of legalities, of all like business partnerships. So like those could be the scenarios in which this person, but these also could just be the fantasies of like two business partners, of two colleagues, of, like the contracts, so like teacher, student, all of the stuff that could be a no. But again, that's part of the kink, right? The restraint, the 8 of Blades is holding back, especially those that are holding back due to contracts, right? Which could be business partnerships, legalities, marriage, all of the things that you have on paper, okay? Some of you, that teacher energy is like wholesome energy. It is restraint until marriage, right? Because 8 of Blades is restraint, holding yourself back from something until justice, which is legal paperwork. It's that. Like a juggling, balancing energy. Let me get my last card. I'll take the bottom after this. 3 of Blades. Ooh, what happened? This is like an ending. It's like pain. It's trauma. Very painful ending. 3 of Blades. Like someone's heart being sliced through. Let's see. 10 of Elixirs. Okay. So that energy that came through at the beginning, let's go back to it real fast. Some of this person fantasizes about pursuing you after some sort of an ending, whether that is an ending of a relationship, whether that is the ending of some sort of business contract, whether that is the ending of some sort of legal issue, all of the things. Like once that ends, once they get out, because it's binding them, right? They're binded in whatever that contract is. Like I said, it could be a partnership, like a legal partnership. It could be a job. It could be a business deal. It could be money based, like a loan, right? Once that ends, then they can reach this 10 of Elixirs fulfillment. That's where their head is. All right. That's why they're having all of their fantasies. Okay. And a lot of you, that's the fantasy of getting out of that and then being able to pursue you, completing whatever this is, and then being able to enjoy you sensually. So a lot of you, this may be my no contact or long distance connections, right? Like whatever it is that is holding the person back, they're fantasizing about the end of that situation. And that makes sense because I did lead this pile, but I think this is my most grounded pile, where the fantasy is rooted in reality and experience. That's what I'm getting. Okay. But definitely like 10 of Elixirs is ultimate fulfillment, like completion on an emotional, sensual level. Like I said, once that finishes, once that completes, that's when this person's like feeling like they can hop in that energy. Okay. And I'm gonna keep pulling. I got a bunch of decks, but I feel like that this is the dominant energy because that is this person's one fantasy right now, is getting out of whatever that is, right? Because it's you're like, I'm like, okay, you're stuck in the 8 of Blades. What is that? Legal issues, contracts, possibly again marriage, or it doesn't even have to be a marriage. It could be a relationship that is marriage adjacent. For example, a connection where you two share not you two, where this person may share finances, or maybe you two share finances, or you share finances with someone else. Like it doesn't have to be this person's connection. It could be your third party. And I don't like to lead third party with just like romantic perspective. Like I said, it could be legal issues or professional or business deals, right? All of that stuff. So this person's waiting for that to end or hoping that it will. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But that's the fantasy, is it ending so that they can have you. Because this is the one pile where the fantasy seems to be very specific to you. The other piles, there was emphasis on the people selecting the pile, but this pile, your person is only fantasizing about you. Like all of their sexual fantasies, it's not surrounded by their kinks, it's surrounded by you. Like they're only turned on by you at this stage. Okay, that I'm sure. This is the one pile like that. Okay. So let's see. Let me see what this astrology-based oracle has to say. Tell me more about pile 4. How many? That's 2. I'll take them. This is the first, I think, pile where I'm taking more than one, but it's not that many, so why not? But I mean, I love when the cards confirm a message I'm already hitting on. We have planting, moon, preparation. I said when something finishes, finalizes, hoping, waiting, planning something, preparation. That's that planting moon. Like this person's fantasizes about planting seeds. They fantasize about flirting and hinting at the sensual energy with you, hinting at interest, right? And even those of you where this is an actual connection, it feels long distance, or like your person's kind of having to be less attentive because they're working, they're building, they're planting seeds for the future, especially a family with the 10 of elixirs, right? Because that's fulfillment, that's complete fulfillment. And that's fulfillment, you know, traditionally, I think that card has like children and like a whole family in it. And it talks about having everything, not only that you need, but the things you want to, right? Like this person's possibly working on making sure you two are in a good position to where you can have the necessities, but the desires as well. And they'll be more invested sexually when they feel like those needs are met. Okay, especially if there's some legal issues, some financial hardships. Okay, so let me see what else we've got. Let me see. Envision. Okay, yeah, exactly. This person's preparing. Like the fantasy is the vision. Like they envision the future, right? Like they're preparing, they're envisioning for the future. They're looking ahead. Like, you know what I mean? Like they, like, you know, some of you, they want to make a trophy out of you in some instances, right? They want to be successful. That's a specific message for some of you. Okay. Ignite in reversed, which means it's not right now. It's a blockage. It doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. That passion is still there, but for now, it's taking a back seat due to whatever third party situation we have here. I've went over them already. I'm not going to repeat them. Let's see if I can. There we are. Ignite. First quarter. It's just the beginning. Right? Just the beginning. Number 11. Ignite. So it's like prepare, envision, ignite. Ooh, the steps. This person's like steps. This person takes steps. Like when they fantasize, this person likes to manifest. They don't fantasize, right? They create, like they plan, they execute. So that's why this is your person doesn't believe in fantasies. Okay, this is that pile. This person does not believe in fantasies, pile 4. This person is, they do what needs to happen. They make it happen. They prepare, right? Because prepare and ignite is surrounding in vision. They have a vision, they can see, but they do what they can to manifest, to make it happen. They're very action oriented. Okay. At the bottom, exactly. Blue moon. It's like the death card because it is number 13. I treat it like the death card, but it's renewal, right? Renewal. Especially those of you in existing connections. This person fantasizes about renewing the connection, especially if they've been distant. They know that my existing connections, like, okay, especially those of you like building a future, they know that they're really invested because they see that 10 of cups. They see that potential. They've been preparing, they've started making moves, and they see that long-term vision of where you two could be headed. right? Because even though that justice is in the middle, it is the marriage card. This person, if you're not married, or even if you are, this person sees where it's going, right? Like how long, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, where you're going to be together. Okay? But renewal, that's this person's energy. What's that? Harvest. Listen, look what's coming up. Harvest, moon, gratitude. That's a harvest. That's getting things. That's having everything you need to harvest and having things to be grateful for, right? Love that peeked its head out. So let me get more of these cards. Tell me more about pile 4's person's sensual energy. Tell me about their sexual fantasies. But this person's practical. And that's why, I love how, I don't know if it's just the way that I read or just the way that I'm open to research. I don't know what it is. But I like that when we ask questions that may not necessarily apply to your person, Spirit allows me to adjust. Because, like, this person's not fantasizing sexually. Like, they think about it. They anticipate it. But, like, I don't want to say that they don't fantasize sexually. Like, they definitely think about you. May even have a little one-on-one. But, like, it's in instances where it's long distance. But, like, it's not, like, they're not going to just sit down and just be head in the clouds all day, all night. They have things to do. And, like, the goal in mind will put them in a better position to really enjoy, like, sensual, intimate moments with you. That's where their head is. Okay? Exactly. All of the stuff that's trying to come out. So let me make sure I got everything as it should. Look at that. House 10. Look what's in the middle. Yep, that's what came out. House 10. Structure, discipline, self, life mission, accomplishments, the career. I'll put it down because it is what it is with your person, right? Career and social status. That's Capricorn energy. It's builder, right? Structure, discipline, life mission, accomplishments, career. Show you off. That's this person's energy, okay? So let me, I want to pull one more before I take the bottom. What's the superstition when your nose itches? My nose has been itching since this pile started. Tell me in the comments. I can't remember. I always get them crossed, like when my old people tell me. Like, I think it's someone wants to see you, talk to you. I don't know which one. Tell me what it is in the comments. It applies to your reading, so share with the class so we all can know. And some of you are really, like, the teaching thing is relevant, whether it's you, your person, or like something that you two do on the side, because, like, share with the class was just random expression I use, but, like, I don't say that. And we have teacher. Okay? Give me one more from this deck, please. Thank you. This card has been peeking out since I've been shuffling, because I've been shuffling upside down. But it says a union, merging, and coming together. Conjunction is, it's planet, in synastry, it's two planets that are right on top of each other. This person wants to be right on top of you, literally, like you two to be right on top of each other, but they're not gonna dwell on it. They're building, they're gonna work on what they need to do so that can happen. Because this person is thinking long-term. They're thinking of marriage. They're thinking beyond the marriage, renewing the marriage, literally. Like, if you've been married for a while and your person's either been off of work or just distant, detached, whatever, this person's thinking about renewing of vows, right? They fantasize about renewing of vows once they reach what they want, especially if you two kind of are coming up together. Like, if you got married when you weren't in the best financial state during hardships, this person possibly wants to get new rings and, have an actual ceremony if you weren't able to. Those are the types of fantasies this person has, right? Planning something. Like, I can see wedding planning here, right? Envisioning, giving you, like, kind of the wedding of your dreams in some of you instance. I can see that. I can see that. Let me see what else I see before I take the bottom. Yeah, I mean, it's all about reaching a certain career and social status here before a union. That's where this person's fantasy is. Leo. Alrighty. self-confidence, loyalty, and creativity. So that is the fifth house of joy and pleasure, which I do feel like complements that 10 of elixirs really well, right? That deep fulfillment. This person wants to be fulfilled. When it comes to sexual fantasies, it's all about how they feel. They want to be physically like comfortable and satisfied. And it's not about just the sensual experience, the intimate experience. It's about the setting in which they can be comfortable enough to do that, right? That's where your person's head is. So let me pull more. Let's see. And Leo is also about popularity, show you off. Your person might be trying to reach a certain level, you know, of popularity within their network or within their career path, right? You're trying to be some kind of industry leader of some sort. I can see that with teacher. Tell me about Pile 4's person's sexual fantasy, please. What else can we get? Exactly. That's the exact card. Listen, I didn't think it was going to come out, but that card is the card that should come out. So look, this is your person's fantasy right here. You and your loved ones are safe. New moon in Cancer. That is caretaker energy. And you do have Cancer is house 4. So you've got Capricorn, Cancer energy on the table. That's mother, father energy, actually. So that's this person's vibe. That's the sensual fantasy, is being able to kind of take care of a home, take care of a family. You know what I mean? Provide for a family. And really let loose and enjoy, knowing that there's no worries, that all is taken care of in the home. It's all about comfort, right? And this is a not right now. That's why it's in reverse. And I keep grabbing the decks upside down all day. But look who we have visiting us again. Justice and its ruler, Libra. All right, so we've got union, right? A contract. We have a merger union, and then we have Libra. Okay, a win-win outcome is forecast. Full moon in Libra. Exactly. So again, more seventh house and energy of commitment and contracts, and that does confirm. Again, it doesn't have to be someone that's already married. If it's not you, it could be someone marriage minded, and it also is someone that could be in contracts. Again, trying to work through all of their contracts, their business deals, their partnerships as they build themselves up. Okay, but a win-win forecast. When outcome is forecast, this person fantasizes about a resolution, about fairness, about balance. Capricorn, Cancer axis, that 10th, 4th house axis is work-life balance, okay? Right? The home versus career and social status, right? That's that axis. So this person fantasizes about balance, right? So from a sensual perspective, here we go. It's coming through. It talks about equal give and take in union, right? This person wants to give as much as they receive, and vice versa. Okay, that's how this person sees intimate connections and intimate relationships, and that's how this person's thinking sexually. They want to please their partner, and they want a partner that's going to please them just as well. All right, and they see that in you for sure. So lots of fun, right? House of joy and pleasure is right here, if I didn't mention it already. Tell me more about Pile 4's person's sexual fantasy. Okay, look at y'all very soon. I'm sorry, y'all. My nose is like tearing me up for no reason. That's not happened. Like I don't have, I mean, maybe now I'm starting to feel allergies, but like I've not had this issue. So like my nose is, maybe your person has allergies, maybe you have allergies, maybe you have a really itchy nose, but like please keep that to yourself as I'm doing your reading. But like it's like my nose is tearing me up now, and I don't know what's going on. But yeah, very soon. It says clearly decide. Oh, and you know what? I know sometimes like the old people say, nose wide open, like someone that's like head over heels in love. Maybe that's your person's energy. Could be that as well. But I mean, that my nose is really itchy. Very soon. Okay, it says clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. This person's manifesting the life of their dreams, and they do see you as a part of it, but like that's where their head is. The good news is we see that three of swords, that three of blades, following whatever commitment, that contract that has to end, that completion, and when I say end, I mean some of you it is like a chaotic ending that has to happen so that this person can be free of whatever the debt is, but others of you it's just a completion, right? And ending of that hardship so that they can be fulfilled in that 10 of elixirs. But very soon it's gonna happen. Okay, it's either very soon it's going to happen, or your person's fantasizing about it happening quickly. It could be both. It depends on what timeline you're on. Like you kind of, if you are in your person's life, like this pile suggests, like this is the most familiar pile. Like I'm not saying this isn't my pile with crushes, but if this is the case, you know your crush. Okay, like if not, then pick a different pile, because like this feels like very soon, and it feels like either it's happening very soon or this person's fantasizing it about it happening very soon. And it could be both. Could be both. I want one more from this deck and I'll take the bottom. We've got 3 more decks. I've got 2 more love-based ones, and then I'll close it out with that erotic sex answer oracle. Look at that. There's another one that's like hitting the deck. So y'all, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know why this is relevant. And I guess it is because this landed right on the stand before I read these 3 cards. So if you don't know, if you missed the intro, I don't think I mentioned in this intro. If you watched my last video, you know that I was like traveling, and then I broke my original stand for this and I had to get another one. I like this one a lot more. It's a lot more handy, and like I can close it up and travel with it in a way that the other one was not. So I feel like some sort of like something broke or didn't work out, and then like an improvement. Like, not saying anything or anyone is better than any previous person, but like it just works better for the life someone wants to live or their needs. Like, right, like this stand works better for me, right? And the life I want to live and how I want to be able to film, and it's even smaller, so like I don't knock it as much. If you haven't noticed, like it works. And I feel like whatever ending happens, what follows in that 10 of elixirs will be a better fit for this person, whether we're talking about you romantically, or we're talking about a career change or an end of one business partnership so that they can start another one. Whatever the next one is after the ending works out, it just works better for this person, or at least that's what they're thinking. Okay. And in the sexual fantasy, and some of you that are in like scandalous situations, your person fantasizes about you being an upgrade. I'll just say it directly because it's there. It's screaming at me. So you do have, and some of you, this may be a person you're not even interested in. I'm not going to lie. It may be because you do have unrequited love. It says there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going, especially if it's an ex or whatever. Some of you, you may just not be interested. That said, very soon you'll have unrequited love. It doesn't mean that that's you. Those of you in the scandalous situations, they'll make it clear to someone else that they're not interested. It could be that friend and that I was called to in the beginning, where like you may be thinking it's more than a friend, but it's truly a friend. Because that card, I should have left that card. I should have read it more. I didn't want to hold off the reading, but in that deck, the Just Friends card talks about someone literally friend, like the messages of someone literally saying, hey, we should just be friends. So like if there's a person that you feel like has feelings for your person that they're close with, when they realize, they're gonna, like, your person's gonna reject them. Okay. Release your ex. That did try to come out in reverse. So this may be, again, your ex not letting go, or it could be this person not wanting to let your person go, right? If your person is their ex, but it does say the time has come for you to clear your energy. And I'll take it in reverse because that's the way that it came. And it feels like because unrequited love and release your ex in reverse, you do have calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. So your person, if they're not sure if you're interested, like if you are interested in this person you're asking about, some of you, they may not realize, okay? Especially if they've detached, if they've not been giving you attention, if they've been doing the stuff, right? Like they're not sure, okay? But they're hoping that you're not leaving them in the past. Like they may reach out, right? But I do feel like at least half of you, this person that you're asking about has someone lingering around, whether it is like their actual partner, right? If this is third party, or if it's someone that just won't let them go. Okay. This could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. So this person, in their fantasies, they fantasize about, okay, some of you, this person fantasizes a bit about the chase. You probably came from a different pile, right? With very soon unrequited love, not releasing your ex and calling in your soulmate. That's a chase, right? Someone that thinks that they found the one and chasing. Okay. So I'm also seeing this person fantasizes about like proclaiming their love for you, like publicly. This is not like a sexual fantasy, I'm sorry, but it's just like, that's not your person. That's not what they do. Okay, like there's some sensual energy that came through that I started to read, but it's not like, that's not this person like super focused. So let me see. I have a deck specific to that at the end. Let me make it through these other two. So let me see pile 4, your person's sexual fantasy. And after I just got through talking about how I don't knock the stand as much now that I've got a new one, here we go. Look at me. Okay, and I'll take one more in the bottom in a second. Watch out. Ooh, okay. What's that? It says, this is a warning message. Be aware of gossip, envy, and jealousy. Someone or something is trying to stand in the way of this connection. Y'all, I knew it. I saw it. I don't know why. Maybe this person likes to chase so much where they fantasize about like taking you from somebody else, or you stealing them from somebody else. I don't know what your situation and circumstances are, but I did get that message, that very real message at the beginning, unintentionally, not related to the topic. So like, Spirit wants to call your attention to people that are negatively impacting this connection, whether they're jealous or just gossipy or want your person, like, or you, right? Like, this is, just watch out. Okay. Some of you, this person might have a little bit of a kink of would show you off. They have a fantasy, like I think I mentioned the watching, showing you off, that's the kink. That's a confirmation for that as well. But it's also like a wanting to like wanting to get caught, like cutting it close in situations where you might get caught, or situations where other people can see. I see that. Let me get my last one and I'll take the bottom. And I'm ready to close out your reading, pile 4, because you have my nose itchy. It's really, it's not, I don't like it. So let me hurry up. See, I don't have an itchy nose. I don't understand. Let me see if I can get this. You should apologize to me in the comments, pile 4, because this is not fun with my nose. It's not right. Let me see if I can get this to focus. There it is. Nope. It was a mirage. There. Nope. Almost. Yep. Wait. No. Your person may be flighty or like hot and cold or just whatever. I haven't had this issue, and now that I'm like trying to close it out, it's like, okay, there's nothing like being able to let your guard down and know that you are protected by your partner's love. This person wants to be like a provider. Like when we talk about all of this working and whatnot and stable, this person wants a happy, stable home, a safe place for you two. And maybe they're cognizant of this watch out energy of people that don't wish you well, right? And they want to make sure that they're in a position to protect you. And some of you, this person's sexual fantasy, their kink is that hero. Like they're the type, like they like that cape, right? They're like that superhero vibe. They want to save people. That's probably their kink of wanting to save you, regardless of whether or not you need to be saved. Power 4 is not relevant. This person has a savior kink, okay? Right? With that teacher card. Watch out, watch out. Okay, family and friends. Look at that. The support of family and friends may help strengthen this connection. So this is a very interesting energy from this, because with watch out and safe place, family and friends, some of you, this person wants to make sure they fantasize about creating like a home, a community environment. Like there may be a very specific location that this person has fantasies about, like where they have sexual fantasies about you. It's probably in a very specific place. Could be their house, doesn't have to be their house. Could be like a certain very specific city or place, right? Because with watch out and safe place and then family and friends, it's like some home energy, like a very specific location this person thinks about taking you, okay? For that to happen. Some of you with that preparation, and very soon, like you'll see, okay? So let's see what this Twin Flame Soulmate Oracle deck has to say. And then I'll hop into that sex answer, erotic sex oracle. All right. How for? Tell me about your person's sexual fantasies. The future. Listen, I know what I'm talking about. The future. This person's not fantasizing. They are planning, they are preparing, they are foreseeing. Okay? Let's see if I can. There it is, the future. Look at that. And I think I did mention earlier, like a renewed vows or an actual wedding, I see for a lot of you. This person's fantasizing about. But it's not like they don't see it as a fantasy. They see it as something they're planning, working their way towards, okay? You may already know that, because this seems to be my pile. Yeah, exactly. Something has to end first, though, right? Like once you make it past whatever that ending is, whatever has to go, could, honestly, some of you, it's a relocation. Could be a move. Could be a move, okay? Let me get one more. I'll take the bottom from this deck. Tell me about. All right. Hold on. Did I burn it? Y'all, I'm like, there was other cards showing out, and like I was trying to get them, but like elusive is not one of them, because I almost burned this. Like, no. So before I do what I was doing, I hope I don't lose it, because I almost like killed this card. Oh my gosh. Elusive is not a card that wants to be. It's like, don't you dare like say that I'm elusive. Like if you've been saying that, like, because there's a gossip card, or if people have been saying that about your person, especially if you're connected, like, well, I haven't seen Power Force person, like, where's that person, you know, are they still together, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, burn that card. Nobody's elusive. Somebody's like working, planning, building. So like this card almost went away. It almost went away. So I'll read those cards, but I was looking to see because there was other cards that wanted to come out, like hope. I think I saw soul level. Ironically enough, I think the other yes, yeah, exactly. The other yes card is peeking at me. So yeah, I mean, let me just put this down. Let me just put this down before I lose a card. So, but again, yes. Okay. Where can I place this? I'll put it. Is that, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But yeah, this person fantasizes about meeting their one, right? Fireworks, twin flames. But again, this is my one pile where I feel like it's all about you for real, right? Twin flames, fireworks. And just ironically enough, it's the candle flame and darn fireworks that came out when I almost lost the elusive card. It's like, who you call it elusive, okay? That's how your person feels if you're calling them elusive or if people are calling them elusive. All right, but twin flames and fireworks. I'm holding that up because that was a very aggressive message. Okay. Let me see these last messages and see what's going on. Most tarot readers would have the time, patience, and concern to edit things like that out. I do not. Y'all are getting all of this. I don't care. I do not care. Let's see. Let's see. Tell me, my last message is for pile 4. What's their person's sexual fantasy? That is a reversal. Why? I'm waiting for you to come. Oh, okay. Nobody's waiting. Okay. It's not a waiting. You do have very soon on the table. And we have all of this ending energy coming through. You have yes, which is always a positive card. But not waiting. This person fantasizes about not waiting, about moving forward, or about you not waiting and moving forward. Like this person's not, yeah, they're on the move, regardless of what your circumstances are. Okay. Tell me more about pile 4. I want 2 more, please. Okay, I'll take all of that. These cards came out in other piles. Some of you here chose all 4 piles or definitely multiples. Okay. Thank you for your support. But you have great lover. This person fantasizes about performing very well. The sexual healing, especially in the no contact or long distance. They fantasize about it being very healing, like a sexual healing experience. And then let's see what this is. Orgasmic was another one that came out before in a different pile. So yeah, I mean, if you were thinking of other piles and you haven't chosen them yet, definitely go back, okay? And choose the ones, but don't feel pressured to. It's not that serious, okay? But this person is, I don't want to say this because I know this whole reading has not been their sexual fantasy because they're so grounded and rooted in reality. I think that's a positive indicator because it feels like this person's moving. This person is racing forward, which makes sense for a lot of you here. Like a lot of you here, this is your person. So like you were just picking the pile for fun or just support. So thank you. But others of you, this person, you were picking this pile just to see what it was, but you're getting some confirmations that you're going to be really excited about. And I think I said that at the beginning. So yeah, spiritual connection. That's great energy. Loving that for you, pile 4. Very happy for you. Because again, this person is very attracted to you. They do have sexual feelings for you. They deeply desire you. I don't want you to think that that wasn't the case. It's just that, again, they're building, they're growing. They see you as someone they could actually be with. They're planning for the future and whatnot. And like sexual gratification is not the priority, and they're not worried about it because they feel a deeply spiritual connection with you beyond that. Okay. So that is all I have for you today, pile 4. Hopefully it resonated. If it did, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can stay in the know on the content we post here on this channel. Thank you for watching.